Welcome back, everybody, to session 3 of a Sha'ir's poem. We last left our pair of corsairs. They just captured a Yathite wine merchant's ship after a rather grueling, say, a knife fight in the bowels of this ship. They had been given the information about this captain who's now down on his luck for reasons unknown from another rather treacherous captain who'd sold them the information with an exorbitant amount of money. He didn't really say how they were going to have the deed done, but it was implied that they would help them take this ship, but it seemed that once the money had changed hands, that our party was given the dirty work, and now that blood is now on their hands. We find our pair below deck, bandaged. I will say that you guys have dumped the bodies into the drink. It is still some hours before dawn, and you stand amidst the hold of a ship that's stacked with crates, suspiciously riding high in the surf. But I will let the party take it away here.
So Ben Thud in his debilitated state is probably limping around this hold with a lamp, looking at the crates, wondering what's inside of them now that he and Tarak have a ship. His next thing of thought, of course, is crewing said ship, because the two of them can't do it. His bandaged side where he took the arrow earlier pains him, and his once fairly nice clothes are torn and bloodied in spots as his eyes wander across these crates, looking for any kind of labels, any kind of indication of what might be in them before he goes to fetch a pry bar to actually pry one open and see what's inside. And his curiosity is definitely piqued as he looks over toward where Tarak is doing what he's doing.
Tarak honestly would be kind of at least close by Ben, especially with him being injured. He doesn't need him just falling down on the floor here. Tarak at first glimpse was kind of just ready to just break into one of these crates and kind of see what's in them. Also not being learned in, ships and cargo in general, he just sees boxes. But seeing how Ben's kind of cautious around him, that would make him stay his hand. And he's going to kind of take Ben's lead on this just because he knows Ben has had some sailor experience. And he quite honestly just got a pair of sea legs right before that fight. So, and besides that, Tarak had just made sure that everything was, cleaned up as best he can get the two of them. Made sure Ben was bandaged up as best he could so he doesn't bleed out on him. And unless Ben calls for him, he's actually going to try to get what he can available to make at least a makeshift bed for Ben to lay on to not make his wound any worse. But he actually will turn to Ben after they walk around for a little bit, and he's going to be like, weren't we told he didn't have anything?
Well, the ship riding high on the water made me think that he probably didn't have any cargo, but I mean, this stuff can't be very heavy. And he's actually looking and says, "Can you see a pry bar anywhere? We can pry one of these open, see what's in here.
Tarak will have one of the lamps and he'll look around for something to open these crates.
Sure, there's a pry bar nearby.
Maybe over by the officer desk, probably.
Okay, and he'll
Or at the very least, he'll take that guy's hatch and just use that too. So I mean,
so he'll bend you through the little jam this pry bar underneath one of the lids and pry it up, so you can take the top off.
Within within the sealed crates, I'll say you open like 2 or 3. They're just traveling provisions,
Okay.
hardtack, bread,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
So yeah, basic provisions we would probably have for to service the crew, and possibly or take somewhere where they could be useful. Okay. So he'll Ben's gonna go over to that desk after that and look at the papers that the captain was poring over. So see if it isn't by chance written in Yeth or Thoranean, is it? Or Yeth?
No,
Thoranean?
these are Yath merchants. It's all in
Okay.
hieroglyphics.
Okay, it's like Yeth hieroglyphics.
Mhm.
I do have academics. Let me see if I can. I do speak Yeth. Maybe I can figure it out.
That's not a skill that you roll. Did you actually
so-
purchase Yath as a language?
Yeah, I had Yeth since the beginning.
Speak or read. And you don't get both.
Okay, so I did not know that was a specific skill.
Oh, this is like AD&D. No. We're doing.
Well, I took academics, so I thought the academics gave you the ability to read. So that's why I was
read
asking.
your language.
Okay, so
you have to purchase other languages with academics.
Okay, that's good to know. So I will make sure that goes in the skill in the skill section.
He is in the skill section.
Okay. So in that case, yeah, I said this, to me, it's just gibberish. Tarak, you don't have by chance read this, do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
and he'll actually kind of give a look like you can't read this.
All right, Tarak can read.
Yeah, no. Tarak has academics and he has his own language, so yes,
nice.
Yes, he can. Yeah. So Tarak will go over and he'll probably start translating it out loud for Ben to hear. Do you want me to actually make like a roll for it, or just automatic since it's my own language?
If it is your own mother tongue, yes, you can actually speak it. Excuse me, you can read it. This is there's actually quite a bit on here. What exactly are you looking at? Or let me say, what are you looking for?
Well, I just saw Ben pouring over them, so I'll actually give a second. I'll kind of I'll see what's there, and then I'll kind of look at Ben and be like, "So
look for a list. If there's a list of, it might say something like cargo or manifest or something like that."
Okay, so we're looking for a list of goods.
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking for a list of goods.
We're
looking for the manifesto, so to speak.
The manifesto. Not a serial killer's manifesto, but
I don't know if these guys were or not. I mean, they were probably part pirates.
Well, I don't know.
Splitting the hairs. Continue on.
And I was just about to say, I almost made a story decision there for you. Anyway, no, they are not pirates. They are legit merchants. We're just keeping that with that. There is amidst the papers on the desk of Papyrus, there is a stack of clay tablets that seems to be much the list of goods there. And looking over this, you can tell, yes, they are in fact wine merchants. And their shipments go back a good maybe 2 to 3 cycles, it seems. There are lists of ports, purchases, profits, coin received, this, that, and the other. And if you're kind of like going through not just this, but actually piecing everything else together, almost like Beautiful Mind style, you will find that there was a sickness that hit them about 12 months ago on the Arclunar calendar. 12 months of 16 months for a full cycle, almost a full cycle's worth of time. That got progressively worse, and every place that they tried to put in at for a cure, that it would not bring up any kind of progress for them. They can't find a cure for whatever plague this is that found them. And towards the end of all of these notes being taken, the writing gets a little bit more frantic. I'm not going to give you the whole dialogue of it, but it went from so one person got sick on this one island that we went to. This village seemed pretty all right. Basically the sale and the retail aspect of that particular stop went off perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with it. But some months after that, someone got sick, and then after that, another person got sick, and they just simply would not get better. No matter what they had on them there. And when it got to about 4 people getting sick on this, and it spread very slowly. You look through this entire timeline, you're piecing all this together. I'm assuming, Tarak, you're explaining this to Ben, because this is all in hieroglyphs.
Yeah. This would be out loud. Like, as he starts seeing things about the sickness, so like they got sick here, and then they got sick here. And then here and here and here, and they start really getting sick here.
And it seemed like when it gets to a point where more than half the crew is sick, and they've stopped at 4 different places that were known to have good or expert, maybe even adept healers, and one of the healers got sick, is when the superstitious sailor talk starts to come in, and now no port wants them. And then when they finally got to Hanoptra, the crew that had left, of like the 78 people, like 6 were still healthy. They left, and everyone else died. And that's now, which this whole timeline now pieces together for you. A captain would be absolutely down on his luck at this point, and no one wants to sail with him. And the 3 people that were left with him were his direct family members. Wiped out this man and his generations. Well done.
So hearing all of this, I look at Tarak and say, we did them a kindness. They were cursed. Under superstition, you know what I mean? So yeah, they were definitely cursed. If a captain's crew begins getting sick like that, it's something he's done. So does anything in there indicate the name of the ship? I'll ask Tarak. If any of this pictures,
Tarak will go back. I assume like at the beginning of some of the documents or something, maybe.
The name of the ship is actually a couplet, but it translates into what would be for the Thoranean language is "she who runs before the wind."
That's poetic.
Just in general, I'm trying to think what I might make a roll to see if have I heard this name anywhere in the port?
Nope.
So no one has spoken the name of this ship once in my presence that I can think of.
Nope.
That's a bad sign. So He's that's in his mind. He's like,
According to the logbook, they've only been in port for a week, 10 days.
okay,
Or excuse me, a chain, 10 days.
chain. Okay. Okay. Well, still, I mean, sailors will talk about anything, but you never know. Uh,
Do you think that other one knew?
he may have. I don't know. He may have been thinking of doing a kindness to this captain too, but then again, kindness and cruelty go hand in hand. So, but I think we should at least get an idea of what's here and what we need to keep and what we need to sell. So we can actually hire a crew.
Do you think that merchant friend of yours would want to take on some wine?
Possibly.
That'd be a good place to start as any, I think.
I think so too. He would be a good person to speak to. And where do I have my notes for him? Okay, I have it over here.
Anything else you want me to try to find, Ben?
At the moment, I think I just need to rest. And I mean, at the same time, I'm a bit worried. The fellows who gave us this mark may, no, they may come to see what's going on and think to themselves, "Oh, here's one injured man and another one. Maybe we can get ourselves our own ship and have money." But
Yeah, but didn't he say that he thought there was only the captain and one other before? Like, wouldn't it have been easier for him to just do it then?
that is true. That is true. I think I need to rest at least for the night before I do anything else.
Okay.
My side definitely pains me.
Yeah. So, Tarak, if he was able to, he'll get that makeshift bed for Ben. I'm assuming there's materials around for that, or even one of the hammocks or whatever.
Yeah. Are there is a hammock right there that one guy was laying in, so
Right.
he could probably lay in it. So, and are there multiple hammocks here that are strung up, or you're muted, sir.
You got your thing up.
And all this just a hammock and a cot.
Okay. Well, I'll take the hammock if you want the cot.
Tarak will actually stay behind the officer's desk for a little bit longer. One, just to kind of keep watch, because of course Ben's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of put that thought in the back of his head, like, oh crap, what if someone else does come for us right now? So he'll stay up a little bit longer, but he's also going to go through the rest of the papers. And even if he doesn't understand what's there, he's still going to kind of like organize it best he can. Like, okay, this has stuff about cargo. This has stuff about where they went. This is meaningless letters that went to X, Y, and Z if there is. These are the scribbles of a madman right before he got, knifed down, what have you. Tarak will probably spend a couple hours doing that, and then he'll probably nod off in the chair.
Most of what you can put together is this guy had a pretty he wasn't a wealthy merchant. Mind you, comparatively to adventurers, merchants are very wealthy individuals comparatively. But even in like the merchant world, the merchant shipping world, he wasn't terribly wealthy. He was we'll say he's comfortable. He only owned one ship. He was a merchant captain. He wasn't a guy who owned a company of ships. None of that. He was just an independent guy who moved freight, and he specialized in wine. Now he does have a wife. He has a very, very beautiful wife, according to his his notes, he has 3 children,
Yeah.
2 of which had been laid low by the sickness, and one of the individuals that you killed was in fact one of his sons. So like I said,
Probably the axe guy.
it you wiped out him and his generations. This guy is struck from the history books, and
Fate.
I'm not trying to be shitty about it, but no, it's a really
No,
shitty
I'm
situation.
fine.
But
Hey, it's a brutal world. Shit
it's
happens.
the Bronze Age. People normally don't last beyond 30.
Yeah.
Now, but it's piecing to what is Turok's cunning? Let me ask you that.
Like the score?
Yes, his score. What's his cunning
Give
score?
me a s-
Also, give me a spirit score too, just for the sake of the scene.
Spirit is 10, cunning is 9.
Okay. He's a pretty cerebral guy according to his statistics. You can piece together that this merchant was, if you actually had met him on different circumstances, he sounds like a pretty cool guy.
Right.
Very, very kind, but something happened on that island that you feel a strange gravity towards, but you're also, it's kind of a sick fascination, but it's almost a growing almost a suspicious obsession in your mind.
Right.
The guy seemed pretty, like he's good people. He's honest. Using like the D&D alignment, he might be like a lawful good merchant. I mean, like a very nice guy. And very devout. He worshipped some of the more what you would consider goodly gods. He was a devotee of Ibis, as well as a few other more remote desert pagan spirits, if you will. And he was after this trip, he was going to return to Ra, the capital city, and hopefully return with quite a bit of money to be able to take his wife to another place away from Thorana, somewhere away from this terrible place. And something doesn't add up. This is a very like seemingly nice guy, a very devout. He keeps the high holidays, and when you piece it all together, it is just a brutal and vicious shut out over like the 3-month period. Just this guy was laid low by something, and maybe some superstition kind of like percolates up in you. Make a sight test for me.
Sight test?
Yes.
Let's see. It's gonna be a 14.
Okay. There is something here. That is all I will say. However you wish to navigate the rest of the scene.
Now, if I now I'm trying to pull player knowledge for a moment. Ben got the coordinates for the island they're supposed to go to for the flower, correct?
They were told. Actually, you weren't. You were told that it was actually going to be one on one of the islands near to an island called Soltage.
Okay. And this island that all this like snapping of the mind is kind of how I'm seeing it.
Right.
Did it say where that happened? Like other than just this island, or does it actually like give me a name or I'm trying to see if they're I'm trying to see if they're lining up somehow. Because
It doesn't seem to. If they
weird
are
flower
near to
that does weird shit and weird sickness that did weird shit. Like, but no, if it doesn't, that's fine.
they both do weird shit, but the things are not
Close to each other.
One seems more supernatural than the other.
Right.
I will let that sink in with you guys.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he doesn't write Thoranean, so he can't like transcribe this for Ben, but he'll keep the papers. Is there like a, I don't know what it would even be. Is there like a tablet or something to put these papers into to keep them in order? Because he's probably going to take them with him.
There's they really don't have bookbinding.
Right, that's what I was like. I don't know what it would be.
There's a wooden tray that the papyrus sheets sit into, but the like I said, like the clay tablets, they'll stack kind of nicely. You just gotta be real gentle with them, because if they break, all that information is lost.
Right.
But there's a way for you to store this and keep it all together.
Is there spare papyrus and ink?
There is.
Okay, so not tonight because he needs to get sleep himself, but he will keep the tablets in a somewhat safe place, and probably the next night or two they come back to the ship, he will transcribe them onto the papyrus so they can be transported easier.
Okay.
Because he's broken. I'm assuming he's probably broken a clay tablet or two in his life. One, is not a fun cleanup. And two, yeah, all that information is just gone because you can't really piece it back together.
Okay. I see. I guess you guys put your characters to bed then, right?
Yeah, like I said, Tarak would do this for a couple hours and then probably crash out in the chair.
Okay. If you guys go ahead and do that, then if you sleep, you're a full night's rest, so to speak, and rest for a full day, you guys can recover 1 point of vitality.
All right, there we go. Well, 1 point.
We'll say it is probably dawn the day after tomorrow.
Okay.
Or, well, it's a few hours before dawn currently. So that would be the dawn of the next day.
Okay.
24 hours.
Okay.
I believe so.
So once Ben wakes up, he is actually going to do a little more exploring in the ship. He's feeling a little bit better, but still not great. First off, he's going to look for food if there's like a place where they were cooking. There's a brazier or something like that there set up, or
not really.
Okay.
They've kind of been reduced to like hardtack and what's left of the fruits that hasn't gone bad.
Okay, then he'll get a bit of fruit and some hardtack and eat it as best he can, and sets him out for Tarak. He'll let him rest because he knows he was up later than him, and he's going to go looking for the captain's where the captain would sleep.
You're in it.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna look around for see there's a strong box.
Let me see here. There doesn't seem to be a strong box on this ship.
Okay. Okay, no problem. He's basically going to go through and sort of in his mind catalog what all kinds of stuff there is everything here that would be that he would think would be appropriate for a captain to have, or it's like this guy was selling stuff off.
Yeah, this is quite literally most of what they have left. It were the sealed crates of whatever they had for provisions, and the rest of it was already emptied wine crates.
Okay, so it is effectively cargo wise an empty ship. It just has provisions.
There's plenty of storage there. They just need to put the shit in the crates. But
So then he's going to go up on the deck and he's going to sort of go through and just check with his eye the rigging, the sails, see if they're in decent repair at least. I'm assuming this is what kind of a rudder does this thing use? Is it a sweep or is it a wheeled rudder? What is the
oh no, it's a tiller.
tiller? Okay, yeah. So okay, so he checks that and makes sure it works. He'll actually unbind it and move it back and forth to make sure it actually operates properly, and then tie it back up again.
See if I can find the picture that I have for you for the ship. Keep going.
And I said, then he'll go along. He'll make sure that any of this, like the spare the spare rigging, the lines, etc., are coiled where they're supposed to be, and if there's I guess just sort of go and basically stem to stern and make sure that the ship is in ship shape.
Right.
So
She who runs before the wind is pretty. She is a well-worn but a pretty well-maintained ship. I mean, she's not like straight out of like what would be the equivalent to like Rotterdam and cherry red Ferrari and decals. No, but it's she's a nice ship. It works.
Okay. Then once he's done that, he's gonna go over to the rail and look back toward the dock and just sort of scan the dock and see how busy it's looking this morning.
You see those who were working the freight from the previous days with their elephants moving things off of larger ships and such like.
Okay, so
it's starting to wake up. Yeah.
Okay, so it's looking fairly normal back that way then. There's nothing.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
A few ships may or may not have put out to sea before you guys woke up, but actually, you know what? There were, I believe I said there were like 4 or 5 ships that were actually docked, maybe Corsair ships, only one of which is actually still there. So
okay.
The majority of the room in the harbor is freed up now.
Okay, where's the tide at?
We are at, oh my goodness. We are at low tide. Low tide that morning.
Okay. So most likely those ships left with the tide, I'm willing to bet.
Right.
Okay. Does the ship have a launch or a rowboat?
It does not.
Wonderful.
Right? I told you they were selling shit off because they were desperate.
Benyethud will literally look everywhere and just sigh and look back at how far it is back to the deal, and knowing in his current shape he probably won't make it. So yeah. So okay. He'll check his purse, which is fairly light comparatively now. And is there by chance a he's gonna look at it along the port and such. Are there boatmen out rowing, going back and forth from different, like that one ship or other, or I should say, does he know of do they have ferry people who will ferry from ship to shore?
They don't do that here.
Oh, okay. Well, darn. You could have waved somebody down and hired somebody.
Right.
Okay. Then once he does that, he'll head back down and see if Tarak is up yet.
Tarak, he probably would have woken up soon after, if just from the noise of you moving around.
Yeah.
After a little bit, he probably would have found the food.
Yeah, you'll probably notice that Benyethud is barefoot right now. His boots are over next to the where he slept. So, okay. So I found some food for us, and the ship is in decent shape. There's no launch though.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do we remedy that?
Have to buy one, which means at some point we're going to have to swim to shore. They must have sold it. Most of the finery the captain had is gone, if he ever had any. And I don't know how wealthy was he of a merchant.
He wasn't the most opulent, but he definitely wasn't hurting before all the bad tidings came in.
Yeah. Well, there's no strong box in evidence, so
They
probably
sold the strong box.
he probably had no money left.
Here, take it all and the box.
Yeah. Or the people he was in debt to came and took it. That's a possibility. So
Mhm.
Because he
That's
was
the
talking about making one last haul and then going home.
yeah. So
Apparently that
something-
last haul never made it.
yeah. So
Do we have? Well, I mean, and he'll actually go up to one of the crates. Like these what's in these?
I think mostly provisions, just stuff to keep, basically stuff to feed the crew.
At least we won't go hungry.
And it's not the best stuff to feed the crew. It's the stuff that you keep the longest. Hardtack, dried fruits, things like that. It'll keep you alive, but it will not make you happy. Nor will it make your stomach happy. Not over a long period of time. We'll need to put on some decent provisions as well. So
more
now,
money.
So Mr. Narrator,
Yes.
would it be a seafaring check to understand that certain fruits stave off scurvy?
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be an apothecary check.
I figured it'd be a sea lore.
My logic is because it is technically a medicinal lore.
Right, but by the same token,
I
would have no reason to even know what scurvy was.
Yeah.
Unless I knew it because of being out on the sea.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Well, sailors don't shut up about scurvy. It's one of the lead killers, and it'll take your teeth the quickest.
Oh, okay.
If you are near the coast, you would have heard about scurvy.
So yeah, maybe an apothecary check.
So then, I would rule that it would probably be an apothecary test.
Okay.
Seafaring is for navigation purposes.
Okay.
Sea lore is to identify plants and animals of the sea.
Okay.
It's essentially the aquatic form of wild lore.
Okay. Okay. So knowing which fish you can eat, which seaweeds you can eat, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Okay.
That would be sea lore.
Sea lore. Okay.
Now in other rule sets of this system, now just because we're actually going over this, we'll be quick. We'll be quick to go back to the story here. My apologies, everybody. Now in the Sword and Planet guidebook, navigation replaces seafaring.
Okay.
Because navigation will navigation's purview is land-based travel, air-based travel, and aquatic travel.
Okay.
Now, traveling and seafaring are both aquatic and terrestrial.
Okay.
That's how we're breaking those up. So,
okay.
There was another point I was going to make, but I think that's actually all. All right, back to it.
Okay.
So apothecary check.
Yes, apothecary. That's actually a really, really good question. That was very pertaining to what. And once we finally get back to a full a full seafaring campaign. Hey, everyone better have apothecary because everyone knows about scurvy.
Yeah.
Or at least they'll have a pseudo point because they get told about it
Yeah.
enough.
Right?
Yeah, eat this or you get scurvy because the spirits in here are warded off or whatever. Yeah.
Would now apothecary wouldn't be an everyman skill, but would the knowledge of scurvy, if one is
It
a
might.
corsair, be an everyman knowledge?
I would think so.
Yeah, I think you may know that if you eat certain, kumquats, lemons, limes, oranges, stuff, whatever kind of stuff like that, might even be something that the deal of we eat fruit of a certain color because that color wards off the spirits of scurvy or whatever.
A certain taste.
Fair. Okay. If it is citrusy, then the miasma that is scurvy is dead. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah,
it sounds silly, but hey.
Well, I mean, yeah. Plus, you mix that with the rum, or you mix that with whatever, whatever spirits you have, it makes it more potent. Don't you know? Because spirits make it the same face.
Right.
So
that's where we get grog, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is. And grog is ancient. At least that version is. So we get all that, but basically the idea is to look and see in these provisions, do they have the right colored fruits to ward off scurvy, or have they sold all those off too?
Not much left. You're gonna have to buy those.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's when I say that, I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, it's fine.
What I'm trying is they've eaten through most of it.
Okay.
Like due to this sickness and their logbook, it seemed like they were pretty with it, and they had enough money to keep these sorts of things in stock on their ship, in supply. But as the tumult got worse, they were ignoring their scurvy staving off rations towards the end, and some of the guys, according to the literature, started to go a little nuts.
Okay.
And so that is why there's not much left in
Gotcha.
You guys found these poor sailors at the worst rock shit.
They were as low as they could get. Okay. That's
while
fair.
Still being alive and physically possessing a ship.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. In that case, I'll go up on the deck.
Beautiful day for it.
Yeah. You'll plop down on one of the coils of rope. Motion for Turok to come up and say, "So, where do we go from here? I know we're going to need to hire a pilot. We're going to need to hire a quartermaster."
Make an awareness test for me.
Awareness. Okay.
Both of us or just him?
Both of you.
Okay.
Depends on how well you're paying attention.
13.
Okay.
Well,
Ben, your nose tells you that there will be a storm possibly tonight in the middle of the night.
Okay. I think there's a storm coming.
Probably not a good time to leave then, is it?
Probably not. Is the ship rigged for a storm?
We don't even have a rowboat to get to the shore.
Yeah, that's my question. I'm looking at basically are the sails furled? Are we moored front and back, or do we only have an anchor at the front?
You've got an anchor about midships on the port side.
Okay, as long as we have one, that's the important thing.
Because then we climb up the anchor.
Well, no, what it is
initially you climbed up the anchor to
we did.
The ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with my seafaring, I have a total of 2 ranks in it, and it's in my background. Um, one of the things that he probably would know is that when you're at port and you're anchored and a storm comes in, you don't want to have 2 anchors. You only want to have 1, because then your ship can turn into the wind and the waves, and you don't want it getting swamped because your ship is being held crosswind. So that's what he's making sure that about that, and making sure that none of the sails are. Well, basically, he's going to busy himself making sure that the ship is ready for a storm. Then
They were not prepared for bad weather in any stretch of anyone's imagination. That's going to take you a few hours to do.
That's fine. That's fine. He'll direct Tarak in what we have to do. Make sure that any kind of open hatches are covered. They probably had, I would probably say, oiled sailcloth to cover most of those instead of actually wooden hatches at that point. So they probably had to be dogged down and made sure that they're nice and tight and all that kind of fun stuff. So
not to be a contrarian, but I don't know if they would or if they do.
This is sold them off.
Well, if they don't have the stuff to cover it with, I can if I need to, I can make them. I can use sailcloth to actually make them.
With what sail, Keith?
Is there no sail at all in the ship?
There is 1 sail, and it's above you.
Yeah, I'd have to get up there and actually get it down.
That's going to take a couple hours worth of work right there. So, it's out. Yeah. What this problem becomes even more frustrating because they're like, dude, it is better that that you guys killed them, because it was that bad.
They wouldn't have survived the storm probably.
Nope.
So he's gonna look at the sail. There's no other sailcloth on the boat that he can find.
Nope. The sail that they have up right now is the only sail on that ship.
Okay. Down below, are there blankets? Are there any additional hammocks that are stowed away anywhere?
No.
Okay. That's fine.
Wow, narrator. Just wow.
Well, I wanted these guys to be really fucked up.
Honestly, though, I will tell you this. I have no problem with this because this is a rags to riches. We're not just going to be given a functional ship.
Right.
Have a ship. Like, okay, what's wrong with it?
Yes.
It's like that Star Wars campaign that I ran on Kuwait. They're like, oh, you find a YT freighter. And Jamie went, all right, what the fuck is wrong with this thing?
Yeah.
And that ship became more of a plague than actually a blessing.
There's a good reason for him to have asked that, because of a game I ran at one time. Yeah. So
okay,
ship
sorry.
with more fucking quirks than it was worth. Worked great when it worked.
It's a nice ship with a beautiful name. She's got a lot of work.
Yes, it's gonna have to keep her afloat. All right, I will tell Tarak we've got to get that sail down, because we're gonna have to basically batten these hatches, or these hatches, and keep any water from getting in. If it comes a serious storm, it can fill our hold and we'll sink. You have to keep the water in.
One thing that they do have that is a spare.
What's that?
They have a spare mast.
Oh, wonderful. That's good.
Like, that's gonna fucking help.
It will.
Will it?
Yeah, it will, because what you do is you lay it, because I'm assuming, like, if we're looking at the ship there that you have put up,
it's you see where that red pot or basket is on the far side from the view of the picture. It's actually the mast is lashed to the deck on that side.
Okay. Now, does it have the big open area accessing the cargo hold in the middle?
No, that is a window to depict like where it is. It is a one long yard there with the mast. Okay.
I want to make sure.
The sail on the ship that you have, as opposed to the one in the picture here, the one that you have is actually a lantine sail. It's
Okay.
a triangular shape.
A
one,
triangular. Okay.
Not I can't remember what the term for a square sail is, but yours is a lantine. The advantage of a lantine sail is you can sail into the wind.
Okay.
With a lantine sail, you can't really sail into the wind
Okay.
well with a rectangular sail there. This is
Okay.
a single-masted vessel. They have a spare mast, but there's no place for you to put up 2 masts. You
Okay.
don't think the ship could actually take it?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It probably be too big, but still, you want a spare mast in case your main mast breaks.
Oh yeah, with the store
Um,
coming, you might actually have to use
yeah.
it.
Turok would have the really messed up idea of, why don't we can stretch that from the tip of the ship to the shore and just
No.
walk across. He
Unfortunately,
doesn't
it
know
will
any
not.
better.
Yeah. I believe they're called latine sails. I believe. No, latine rigged is triangular.
Lantine is
Yeah,
triangular.
latine. Yeah, latine, and then the square sails are just called square sails, as far as I understand.
Huh.
Or a spitzel. So.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll have to. We'll have to get the sail down. We'll have to make sure that any hatches down below are covered. That's actually not that difficult, actually. If yeah, so I was thinking we had a large open area for the cargo for some reason.
Oh
Now
no,
start covering that. Okay, yeah.
no.
So yeah, we'll just make sure everything's secure to make sure. Actually, I had to pull the sail down if the sail is furled. Now does it furl around the main mast and then go outward, or does it go down to the down to the spars?
Lots of nautical terms today.
Oh,
I read up.
I'm not near as well versed. The because the mast okay. The say the horizontal portion of the mast doesn't isn't actually attached to the mast itself.
Okay.
It can be folded up and brought all the way down to the deck. That's what this will actually work for.
Okay. So yeah, we'll want to make sure that thing is all the way down the deck then. So one thing we don't want to do that thing is catch the wind if we have the storm coming in and actually cause us trouble, cause us to keel over, and then next thing you know, we're capsized. And he'll be explaining all this stuff to Turok as he's sort of doing that. He is going to have to climb that mainmast and take that sail down.
Turok's not gonna let you climb that main mast, not in your condition.
Okay. Do you know about knots?
No, but he can climb at least.
Do we have a lot of rope? Or a decent amount of rope?
What you have on the ship is what you have.
Okay. I'm just saying, as far as like additional like coiled rope on the deck is stowed away.
Surprise. They
Well,
would have
well,
one extra coil. I'd
well,
say
hold
about
on.
100
Well,
foot of it.
Okay.
Let me ask this, just because I don't even know. How would they attach the new mast if the other one broke? Because you figure if they have the extra mast, they would have the materials to actually mount it.
You see that picture there? It's got a socket that'll actually
Yeah.
sit into.
Oh, so just
at the front of the
okay.
ship. Yep.
Yeah, it sits down, and there's usually
Crank
either
it in.
wedges. There's usually either wedges down below or wedges that go into the deck to hold it steady.
Okay.
So
So
be hammered in.
one extra coil of rope, one extra mast. Okay.
Yep.
So my
Right.
thought is, knowing what he knows about seafaring, is there enough rope that if Turok goes up and cuts the rigging that's holding the main the main sail and brings it down, would he have enough to basically rerun that based on what he's got there?
Hang on. Okay, wait. Say that one more time.
Is there enough extra rope that if I go up and I can't undo the knots, if I just cut them, does Ben have enough spare rope to re-rig the sail?
Make me a seafaring test.
That's good.
You said this character hasn't been on the water long, but he has
Yeah.
experience.
18.
I'm gonna say you don't think so.
Okay.
It'd be stretching it.
Okay.
Stretching it.
It'd be stretching it. Okay. So
you would like to have more to be comfortable.
Yeah,
put it that way.
agreed. All right. Well, you can try it, Turok, but if you go up there and you can't untie that knot, you need to let me try it. Because we don't have enough rope to be able to I might be able to splice some rope in there, but that's not going to be as strong as a proper line.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Turok will climb up the rope.
All right, make me an athletics test here, quick.
Which he has that.
Awesome. You know, if I wasn't a Sony guy, this would be a great game to do research on. This sort of thing would be Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
20 on the 20 on that one.
Yeah, you can get up there safely. It's OSHA approved.
Can't knots be done at a penalty if you don't have it?
I
think it can be.
Can you use it untrained? Let's see.
I mean, I would kind of assume you could, because you just fumble with it, you know.
Knots cannot be used untrained.
Well, God damn it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So unless they're big and I guess very shoddily done, Turok will kind of fumble with it for a second and probably realize that the rope is too cumbersome and, you know, too awkward to really deal with.
Well, we'll say maybe they're a tad bit big, and you'll probably muddle your way through it. But you're up there for probably an uncomfortable amount of time. That storm seems to be blowing in a little bit faster than what Ben's nose may or may not have suggested.
Of course it would. At one time we need the crushing depths on our side. Yeah, so I guess he'll fumble with that and he'll bring it down best he can.
All right. With
He'll
probably
have like one or two spots where he had to cut it. Just saying.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, I'll make sure that everything else is put away. Anything that's going to become a hazard sliding across the deck is tied up or put it away where it's supposed to be and all that. So.
Okay. The dark clouds of this storm cell are currently on the horizon, seeming to be moving somewhat in your direction, not directly towards you, but you will catch some of it. It's pretty obvious. You will catch at least some of it. The worst or the better of it, well, that remains to be seen. How do you wish to proceed?
I guess once we get all that stuff done, go down, get a little more hardtack. Make sure he has that and something to drink. Do they have? I hope. Also, I'm going to put out some rain barrels and lash them to the railings to catch some rain.
All right.
So, at least one.
No.
If nothing else, I'll put a crate out.
They would have. They'll have barrels.
I was gonna say. Otherwise, the empty supply crate is always put up there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Are they watertight though? Is the issue.
Yeah.
You would kind of figure if they were transporting the wine, they would be in case
of something like that. But
that's just an assumption, though. I wouldn't know. So
Well, they
Yeah,
have
so-
casks of wine in the crates that are
Okay.
cushioned
Sealed.
up with straw.
Mm.
I'll probably get some wine, mix it with some water to thin it out a little bit, and go from there.
The what's left of the wine was what they were drinking last night.
Okay, so we'll have that to wet our whistles and whatnot, and put it in the water, as I said. And then eat, and then I'll tell Tarak, that I don't know if you've ever been on a ship during a storm. It can get a little. It can be frightening for a first timer.
Tarak, he'll just kind of he'll look over at Ben and we'll have to see.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to write tonight, though. It
No,
might get a little too shaky.
I don't think you will. Yeah, make sure everything down below is put away too, and not, scattered every which way. Dang it! That background, like, stop it.
Yeah. I guess today was full of trying to get the ship ready to weather a storm.
Yeah, and understand what we have. Yeah.
Well, it's about mid-afternoon at this point that same day.
Okay. Any ships coming in that I can see before the storm?
Yes,
No,
there
there's
are
not.
now.
Oh wow. Okay. So all right. Any fishing boats coming in before the storm?
Doesn't seem like anyone's out right now.
Well, darn it. Okay. So I was thinking if we can get to shore, that's the best. Or maybe one of us go to shore at least. Well, I guess I'm not going to go jump in the drink with the storm coming, so I guess we'll just batten down and wait for the storm to hit and pass. Hopefully.
Well, you could have a few hours before if you wanted to go ashore, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah. I currently am at 6 vitality. At a
yeah,
15.
so
So,
you're in in
swimming-
the quick.
Swimming.
Oh,
is
you
not
have
gonna be
minus
good.
you have a -1 penalty or everything. You're fine. Well,
And he does has actually swimming is one of his better skills. So
yeah, and 6 is
we could
5 and
we
6
could
is -1.
we could try to go to shore if you want to, Tarak. Get us a boat and row it back out, and maybe even contact a possible. I know there was a pilot at that one house that they were talking about.
We don't have anything worth selling on this thing, correct? They already did all of that.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Something that probably
we've-
should stick out to you is where's all that money?
Yeah. I mean, I know we have about 10 gold left.
See, the thing is that reading
You guys
those
would
trans
have less than that. I know for a fact you'd have less than that.
No, that's what we had left over. After all that, we had 10 left.
It's
So-
you have less than 10 gold. I know you have less than 10 because he
Not-
charged you 18.
Yeah, and we had like 30.
30 minus 18 is not 10.
it's
30 minus
12.
18 is 12.
Mhm.
So
So technically we would have more than 10.
All right.
but I thought we'd spent a couple of gold on something, but
No.
I think
anyway,
I don't know.
But-
no, why don't we try to get you ashore?
okay,
Maybe we can find your merchant friend. Maybe he has something for us to transport.
possibly we could at least hire out maybe, and then get
And
a
then-
see if because if we can get a if we can talk to the pilot and get a pilot and a quartermaster, we can possibly, I don't know, figure out some way to get basic provisions. Maybe the merchant will, as part of our pay for transporting it, will give us some basic provisions.
We can find out.
So okay, that's about all we can do. So we can try it. So
Is there any driftwood still by the ship like there was when he got aboard the one night?
You guys floated an oar out there. That
Yeah.
oar is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll look for something on the ship that he could possibly use as a flotation device this time. If nothing else, a lid of a crate.
It's probably going to be about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little of a crate.
We'll get you a lid of a crate then to help you float back in.
Because Tarak has a rank, but he's still not going to be very good at it.
And I'll probably go ahead and take one myself just to be on the safe side. Because one thing you don't want to do is get out there and start foundering. So yeah, we'll paddle ourselves a couple of lower our flotation devices down to the water and then take ourselves down. So, and then swim ashore on these lids.
You guys have grades in swim now?
Oh, I did before.
He did before. I took one with the level up because I figured
All right.
it's something he would have developed these A grade of.
Yeah.
All right. Give us swim checks then.
Okay, all right, -1. That's a 16 for me.
Oh, see, you're fine.
I know, but and of course, if I hadn't have taken the board, I probably wouldn't have been fine.
I got a 12.
See, you guys can get to the
dog pounded out there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, yeah, you guys can get to the beach perfectly fine.
Okay.
It's not a pleasant trip, but you get there.
No. Okay. All right, get there, and then I guess we're gonna head over to the bazaar where our merchant friend was before. Be the first place we'll head to.
Well, on Kerperka is instead of wearing the flowing blue robes that he was the previous day, he's now wearing red. But he's out there dealing with. He looks magnificent in red, by the way.
Okay.
This man looks like he could be a sultan, but he's dealing with a camel merchant right now.
Okay, we'll wait. He's probably selling some camels that he recently acquired.
But he deals with them. He deals with a few more appointments, and he notices you. A broad smile across his face. Oh, good evening, my friends. As it starts to rain.
The rains bless our meeting today. So it's always good to be on shore when the rains come. I was wondering, good friend merchant, if you might be in need of transporting some things in the near future, in which case you might need a ship to do so.
I already have many ships for this sort of thing. I own several.
Well, I've recently come into possession of a ship, myself and my friend Tarak here. We parlayed the gold that we traded with you for yesterday into a game of chance, and we happened to win.
Oh,
it's a good ship.
Fortune smiles upon the two of you. Well done.
It does, but she does not smile too broadly nor too brightly. For the ship we have has no cargo, and I was hoping that you yourself, or you may know someone who needs cargo moved. For now, I have the ability to do so, and we'd be looking to hire our services for such thing.
I'll have to do some digging for you.
Oh, well, that would be a great kindness for you, sir, of you, sir. And we're going to actually go and speak to a young pilot that we've heard of. For we are actually in need of a crew as well. So, as you know, 2 men cannot manage ship themselves.
Yeah, that would depend on the ship and the skill of the 2 men.
No, this one most definitely not. So, and we'll also be needing to get ourselves a bottle of decent wine as well. So
you're going to have a full evening, hopefully before the storm hits.
Well, the ship, the wine is not for us; it's for the ship.
Hmm.
She has a wonderful name, but we need to make sure that she understands that she has new masters. As you know what I mean? If you know what I mean. Bless it.
Ah. Well, yes. I hope that ship isn't haunted.
I don't think it is, although
Whoops.
it's always possible. It's always possible, as you know. So, but if so, we'll put those ghosts to work just like the rest of the crew. And Benyatha gives a little laugh and a grin. So I hope ghosts can hoist sail and man the rigging, especially in a storm.
He shrugs his shoulders, smiles again. He goes, "Come back to me when you have more information. I might have something for you. I might. I will have to see."
You are very kind. And Ben will bow to him very deeply. This is and may the gods see you on in your graciousness and bless you with more coin than you can possibly shake a stick at.
He returns to within his shop there.
Okay.
You guys are left out there. The rain starts to pick up as that beautiful day starts to turn into something unpleasant.
Yeah. Let's go find this mercenary house. What do you think, Truck? See if we can get ourselves a pilot and a quartermaster from there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Do we see any guards moving to this area?
Oh, this is Hanapra.
Yes.
Of course, there are guards.
I will go over and bow very deeply to said guard and say, "Please, sir, can you direct me to a? I believe there's a mercenary house nearby. What was the name of it? The rain drives it from my head. Do you know of any mercenary houses nearby?
There is a lodge nearby that has a few individuals that are selling their wares or themselves. Why would you want to go there?
Well, yeah, I hear they have a pilot. I'm in search of one.
He doesn't necessarily sneer, but he kind of I've heard rumors about this pilot. I don't know. Are you superstitious men?
Of course, I follow all the gods in all ways I can.
He's not from here. I don't like his cat's eyes. They make me uncomfortable.
We'll keep that in mind. Is this a city guard or is this a temple guard? Or are they one and the same?
Technically both. The Temple of Ishtar has obviously technically has its own military, but that those temple guards also police the city. So the city watch is all of the devout warriors of Ishtar.
Okay.
And they're obviously the pharaoh of Hanaptra is a devotee of Ishtar, so it's his and the temple's military. Technically, they have a force of essentially holy warriors of Ishtar.
Okay. So Ben will then he'll do it. He'll bow to the fellow once again. He'll say, "May Ishtar watch over us then and guide our way."
One of the other guards comes up. He goes, "Are you talking about the foreigner?" And of course, then the guard that's just speaking to him says, "Yeah." He goes, "Like the one, the strange one." He goes, "Yeah, the one with the blue eyes."
I've never seen blue eyes.
Cultural context for you. No human being can have blue eyes,
as far as we know.
As far as you guys are aware.
That makes the cat's eyes thing make it understandable now. And he says blue eyes, and Ben's like, that is odd.
People can have blue eyes. What?
Is he blind?
I don't think he's blind.
I hope not. If he was a pilot,
I would hope not as well.
And a couple of the other guards come over, and they're like, "Oh, yeah." They kind of like this collective, like, this guy is weird.
How is that? I'll prompt. How is he weird? Other than the eyes, is he?
The oldest one who is a kind of, he's a star nomad in his 40s, we'll say. And he's got kind of a salt and pepper kind of white beard there, and dreadlocks, clad in a I should probably describe him a little bit better. He's a star nomad. His skin is pretty dark, kind of like coffee would be. He has really rather dark eyes, a salt and pepper beard. He's wearing a bronze hauberk, a bronze mail hauberk that has a leopard, looks like a leopard tabard, a leopard hide tabard over the top of it. And this star nomad says, "Well, I don't have a good word for it, but sometimes when you look at a mountain, the top of the mountain is a very pale color.
Yes.
His skin is like that color. And
Like
he
the-
has blue eyes."
I've seen beaches that when the sun shines upon it will almost blind you.
He is fair like sand,
Uh,
but he is also bronze like the metal.
hmm,
He
interesting.
He is.
Is he a demon of some sort?
They do what the Ishtar version of crossing themselves. They don't want anything to
And-
do with that.
And now I'm intrigued. Now I have to go see this guy.
Right?
I think if nothing else, it will be worth laying eyes upon this fellow, whether he is worthy of paying a pallet or not. Never
He
seen-
is.
Hmm.
Be careful. I
We will.
have been told that he can stand on the deck of a ship like an evil sea spirit and see a ship through terrible places.
Hmm. I wonder if his cat's eyes give him some special sight. Maybe he can see the future.
The six of them just like, "Oh, we don't know,"
Hmm.
but they point you kind of in the direction of where this mercenary lodge would be, but they don't give you like the address.
Okay, that's a we'll let's talk unless you have anything else you want to ask him. We can head that way. So
Nope, I'm good.
okay, we'll begin trudging our way through the downpour. We're already wet, so
Right. It's kind of like a steady tempo of the rain pounding against your hoods at that point, your hoods and possibly your turbans. But
Yep.
You're not like drowned rats yet, but it's getting worse.
okay. Well, we'll definitely, if we can find shelter along the way, like an awning of a stall to duck our heads under from time to time, we'll probably do that and sort of hopscotch. So I
Oh
was
yeah,
thinking-
no, it's very easy to do that.
Okay. And in the process, I mean, I'm looking at the wares and such. Do I find a merchant that has those beautiful bright yellow and orange fruits that happens to have them?
Yeah, you can find a citrus fruit merchant
Okay.
quite easily.
I'll make a note of where he's at.
Okay.
We're gonna need that stuff. So yeah. So are we able to find this place? I'm sure if we ask occasionally, we'll get better directions as we get closer.
Ask for the weird one with the cat's eyes. Yeah, no, they'll eventually.
They all know. Yeah,
But he sticks out like a sore thumb.
I was about to say. Yeah.
But you'll find okay, because the storm is rolling in, it's going to be a little bit darker. But when the sun goes down, finally, it's dark, and now as you guys find what would be, it's a house.
Okay.
It's a house like almost like I say like an Egyptian square,
Okay.
apartment kind of living area, but it's a large, something like 3 apartment kind of rundown affair that has um what was once probably a sailcloth of some kind that has been possibly rudely stitched and or painted in Yath hieroglyphics that there are mercenaries within that are seeking employment. They're you guys are out on the street and you're seeing this, and this kind of like lashed
Yeah.
over like the front like wall over maybe like 2 windows, so it's probably like serving a double purpose of like a curtain.
Yeah.
And
Maybe keeping the weather out.
right, and you see that there's smoke coming out from like one of the roof apertures.
Okay.
And you'd see in old Egyptian style buildings, they'd have a roof platform up there. It's kind of like a 2.5 story, 3 building, kind of like smushed together thing, kind of like built out of the rock wall. There is like lamp or torchlight of some kind coming through a couple of the different windows. So there is inevitably there's life and signs of life within. Someone is cooking something in there.
Yeah. Okay.
And it smells pretty damn great. But as you guys are standing there on like what this would be the front porch, is when the voice of Lekra comes rumbling off the ocean there to you, as the rain pounds against your cloaks and such.
We got a bit of that going on here, actually. Got apparently a storm moving in.
Nice.
Okay. I guess go up and rap at the door, rap at the entrance. I don't know if it's an actual door, if it's a curtain across the front.
Yeah, there's a door.
Okay.
It looks like it was a shield at one time.
That's okay.
But was obviously had hinges mounted on it and then mounted to the to the wall. It's not a perfect fit, which is why the light comes through. You rap at the door, and someone obviously opens it from within. It kind of like opens out to you, and you see let's say a Yath hawk nose just behind the corner there. And and your business this evening.
We seek the man with the cat eyes.
Actually, a very long pause. So you kind of like tell that there's like kind of like a smirk that kind of comes across this guy's face. Everyone wants to see the one with the cat's eyes.
Well, we wish to see him for more than just a novelty. We'd like to speak to him about possible employment.
Ah, fair enough. Leave your weapons outside.
Well, they can be stolen. Can we leave them inside the door?
Did I stutter?
May we hand them to you to place inside the door?
This guy has the accent of maybe more a little. He obviously he's a Yath, but he's a little bit more metropolitan. I mean, he has and he's not from here, but he has an air of an aristocracy about him. At least in his features that are kind of like half covered by the light. And he says, "Good sirs, did I stutter?"
I'll look around and see if there's a place to put weapons, or a place with weapons that's already there.
There is a rack that's half concealed beneath the sailcloth there.
Okay. Then I'll unbuckle my belt and take my little bronze sword or copper sword and place it over there in that little rack. And hold my hands out. Is that sufficient, sir? I mean you no harm, nor do I wish to bring violence into your home.
he turns and he calls another one of the gentlemen out, and this guy looks fucking creepy. They actually come out, and let's see, the first individual that has spoken to you, we'll just call him the aristocrat for this scene briefly, says, there are two of you.
Yes. I'll
And
look.
more directly to Tarak, your weapons at the door.
He'll put down the 4 daggers. He can always find more daggers.
And they search you. They are going to search you the way a Spaniard would. Not that invasive, but
Okay.
did you have any weapons concealed about your persons?
No.
All right.
I mean, about the only thing they might consider a weapon, maybe, is I have a sailor's knife. It's not a weapon. It's made for cutting sails.
Let
So
me see how cautious these guys are. Yeah, no, the creepy looking Yathite actually, he'll take that from you and just kind of like cock an eyebrow at you, and
it's
he'll
a
just
tool, not a weapon, sir.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
The difference between those two is only mindset and intent.
And Ben will just nod graciously. He won't say anything to that.
Tarak left his bow and his garrote back with his bag on the ship because he didn't want to take it into the drink a second time.
Nice. Well
It's
done.
not part of his EDC right now.
And that wax string would actually get pretty foul if it got watery again.
Mm-hmm.
Once you guys are disarmed, you guys are allowed in. Like the front hall of this, like it's not the front hall, the front room of this, I suppose the apartment type tenement. It looks like an abandoned cluster of buildings that someone possibly like knocked down a back wall to make 3 larger rooms.
Okay. Yeah.
Someone is cooking a lamb something, and it's delicious. Your stomach gurgles here and then, but the aristocrat brings you into the front room, which there's a good 8 to 12 other people in this home, and they're kind of like, these guys look, it's a festival of nations. Like
Wow.
in
Yeah.
Probably the most exotic looking native is he's clearly a half fae. He's probably a cross between one of his parents was not an Umbriad. Oh my god, that'd be fucked up. He probably his mom was an Ignead, so his hair is red, his eyes are red, and he's got some kind of like dark stubble facial hair coming in, and he's taking a knife to a whetstone. These guys look like they have seen shit. They're here for whatever purpose, and you don't want these guys to get street. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I understand. Yeah. Be polite to them. Yes. So
Right, but they all look like well-armed and supplied brigands.
yeah, mercenaries. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. There's a few Yathites. The creepy one from before, he has a vulture tattoo on his neck. His left eye is like put out in like, not like, excuse me, I shouldn't say it's put out. It's got a cap to it.
Okay.
And he's wearing well, Tarak would know this. I doubt that Ben would, but he's an embalmer.
Yeah, Ben wouldn't know.
Would or wouldn't?
He would not.
Okay. Yeah, and he has a mask, like a mystic's mask that's actually tied like to his belt there. That's actually the visage of a bearded vulture. This guy has the walk about him where he Tarak knows that this guy's seen shit. There is a stink of sorcery about this guy, and that's probably the nature of the really creepy factor. And his capped over eye lingers on the both of you, maybe a little too long. That makes you rather uncomfortable. So the aristocrat says to you, I want you to wait here and I'll find the one with the cat's eyes. And he just smiles at that. He says, it's the one that his least favorite nickname.
I did not know that he did not like that.
So the aristocrat goes into the back of the back of these three adjoining buildings, and he has a private conversation with this individual, and he comes out with a guy that is white as snow.
Okay.
He has blue eyes that catch the light of the lamps in there. This guy is a full moon in like the gloom there. If he took his shirt off, you could probably hunt coon by the reflection on his chest.
Gondor calls for aid.
Yeah, so we could probably signal for a fleet or an army with him on a hill.
And yeah, that's comparatively to you guys. Yeah, this guy is pale.
Okay.
He has his hair tied back in a loose queue. He has up both arms. He has tattoos, sleeve tattoos of nautical implements like anchors. There's an anvil on there. There's a sail. There is a quill and ink there, and it goes from the back of his hand up to just below his shoulder. Like he's got a patch of bare skin right there just below the shoulder bone, and that's on both arms. He and he's wearing clothes that are obviously foreign to you, and
but are they well made?
Are his clothes well made? They are well made. They looked like at one time they could be rather fine clothes.
Okay.
But they are fine workman's clothes.
Okay.
The sleeves have obviously been torn off to show his tattoos. Almost maybe like that's purposeful.
Okay.
He does not wear any jewelry besides an ebon ear cuff in his left ear.
Would we have seen ebon?
No, it's a black metal that has
black
a blue
metal
to it.
Ooh, okay. Exotic. I'll look over at Tarak and glance the fellow and him, and Ben's probably a bit wonderstruck for a moment before he collects himself, and he says, I'll look at the fellow and address him directly. I said, I hear that you're a pilot and looking for a ship. Is that true?
What language are you speaking?
He'll speak Geath. Speak Geath.
Yaith?
Yaith. Yeah.
Then okay. He will respond in Yaith. He actually has a really weird accent, but he speaks it very nicely.
Okay.
And he says, I am a pilot.
But are you looking to hire?
I think it is you who are looking to hire.
Well, yes. What I meant to say is, would you be willing to consider an offer for employment as a pilot to a ship?
Depends on the ship, and it depends on the experience of the captain.
To be truthful, the captain does not have much experience. I'll look over at Turok.
A chuckle goes through the crowd.
But the ship is true and is well made. It is not the most beautiful ship to dance upon the waves, but it is a she'll hold her own.
Oh my god.
Should I make a persuade check?
No,
No.
I was rolling to see like what his response would be, and I probably rolled the worst one. And his response is, I do I hope by all the goodly and even a number of the evil gods that it is not any of that Thoranean trash that floats.
Ben will just sort of smile. Is it a Thoranean ship?
No, it's actually a Yates ship.
Okay.
It was a it was a Yate cog.
Yeah.
Trading cog.
Well, Ben will smile and says, "Well, those gods smile upon you, and the Darkmans turn away, for it is not a Thoranean ship,
Good.
but a Yate cog."
If it was a rowboat, a cog, or a war galley, I could get you into harbor.
It is a cog. So it does have it is rigged for lateen sail. So,
He just nods.
And he'll look over at Turok. He'll say, "I'm not sure if there are any books or any charts on board. For unfortunately, I do not read the Yates symbols. My friend Turok does. I don't know if those would be. I have seen pilots consult such things before."
I don't think I ran across any charts, Ben. I ran across what they were carrying, and I ran across where they had been.
Yeah. So we have
They
recently
have a log book, but they don't have a rudder.
I did not see one. But then again, this is why we wish to hire a pilot, for a pilot would know of such things. So
He kind of furrows his brow a little in disbelief. You have a ship.
yes,
You are the ship's captain.
yes.
You do not have a logbook. You have a logbook, but you do not have a rudder.
The former captain had fallen upon hard times. That's how I came to be in possession of said ship. A game of chance led me to become captain.
So you are a first-time captain.
Yes, but I am not unfamiliar with the sea. Actually, I was going to throw Rock under the bus and make him captain, but
he says something in a language that you do not understand, shakes his head to the aristocrat, and then just goes back into the back of the in the back of the building where he was summoned from. And the rest of the group just kind of like smirks, and one of the Yaith, which this guy looks like a pirate, all tatted up, with nautical designs. He says, "Oh, with a first-time captain, you that's not, nah." This Corsair's voice just trails out, and he just
that sort of nod. I know. First-time captains are bad luck, but we are on a holy mission, though.
But how can you become second-time captain? No one wants to help the first-time captain.
Well, maybe this is why first time captains so often don't come back from the sea. Because they have to pick first time pilots.
Oh, just as well. I heard he sucked anyway.
Yeah, well, Ben will look over at Turok and sort of shrug his shoulders a bit, and he'll look at the other gentlemen, at the other people there, and says, "Well, you know, would any of you gentlemen be willing to sail with the first time captain, or no?"
The aristocrat speaks up and he says, I feel that a great number of these men may or may not be, how do you say, overqualified for such a voyage.
So, since I'll look at him and I'll say, then I vouch your experience and knowledge in this area. Would you by chance know a place I could find men who were a little more amenable to what we are offering? As there are first time captains, I'm sure there are first time pilots and first time quartermasters and such. And you've probably had several come to your door asking to join your company, I'm willing to bet.
Well, there is no such thing as a first time pilot. Pilots are formally educated.
True. So where would I find? Is there a place in town I could go to?
Like, hold on. Like,
Okay.
when that gets said, Turok will actually get this look of bewilderment. It's gotta be a first time for everything, though.
What that is, a pilot's formal education is they are taught how to navigate, how to get a ship out of and into harbor. Sure. But when they hit the water for the first time, they're not green. They're not green at all. That is an expert on that ship that is 9 times out of 10 more qualified to run that ship than the captain is. That is why technically in the hierarchy of a ship, it goes captain, pilot, quartermaster. And sometimes the pilot can override the captain in most things.
Yeah. When it comes to navigation, definitely.
Which was the entire point of the novel Shogun.
Right.
So anyway, yeah. Turok's just he doesn't know any better. So
Right.
Yeah. So
Well,
his
he's been
mind
in
is
the
like,
water for the first time. Of course, it would know
yeah,
that be
so,
green.
yeah. Well,
No.
Yeah, it says like in his mind, it's like, but it's the first time that they're doing the ship on their own.
Yeah.
So that's where like his mind was going with it. Like, but that's the first time.
Many pilots in of antiquity were apprenticed to obviously
it's like any trade,
yeah.
Right.
So master and apprentice deal, yeah.
So when a first time pilot pilots his own ship for the first time, he's not a virgin on the water. He's so it's when you say, oh, this is a first time captain, this is his first command, and this is a first time pilot, those apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. They're not,
Right.
they are not the same. They may inhabit the same boat, but they're two different animals.
Okay.
So yeah, Turok and everybody, maybe see if we can find someone who just has less experience or is more reckless.
Maybe we should head down to the bars along the docks and see if we can find some fellow maybe deep into his cups who might be willing to do this for us.
The aristocrat replies, he goes, oh no, you can't do that.
We may have no choice.
You will die out there, and your ship will drown, and you too forever. That is suicide.
Persuade check, real quick.
He's persuading you. Are you kidding me?
But yeah, and like so he says that, and like as Ben encourages, Turok's like, but if we have no pilot, we're gonna die at sea anyway. So isn't a pilot better than no pilot? Like, keep in
To
mind,
which he replies, always, but not many can afford the luxury of a pilot.
so who
Yeah.
steers the ship?
The captain.
Ben,
On
Ben-
small ships, the captain will.
Ben shrugs his shoulders and gives the fellow a very sad look with a 20 persuade and says, I have to go to an island to find a beautiful flower for a poor young child who was slain horribly. I've given my oath. If I have to die for that, is there not a better way to do so? And he'll give it almost puppy dog eyes as he does this.
Give him puppy dog eyes. Okay.
And it'll be so much better if we remember Ben's only 18. And he says,
Yeah.
so if we have to go drag some drunkard who claims to be a pilot out of a bar, and that's the only option we have, then maybe the gods will bless us.
Well,
Unless you know of someone who could help us out.
the best pilot that any of us know that has been on the water for longer than several lifetimes has been Ark. And he points to the back of the house. He's from a city across the sea called Philport.
I've never heard of the place,
Mm-hmm.
but he must be a great pilot if he crossed the sea from a place I've never heard.
Ben, I believe we're asking the wrong question now, because he says you could pilot us.
I could possibly.
As scary as that is, we just need to find crew. And he'll actually look at the aristocrat. Are you able to help us with that?
Or at least someone you might recommend as a good quartermaster who would be able to round us a crew up.
I believe that I could.
Then Ben will actually bow to him with his hands together in front of him and says, "That would be the ultimate kindness if you could, good sir. You may actually be saving our lives."
One moment. He goes into the back. There's another private conversation. It takes about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And
Rock's drying himself off during all this.
right. Food is served to the rest of the mercenary company that you are in, but one of the thing like this younger like servant girl that's she's a mixed blood of some kind that she goes to the embalmer and she has a small private conversation with him and she kind of like indicates you two. And the embalmer just looks over at you two and he just like nods. And she goes off and gets some stew for you guys, brings over a couple bowls.
Okay.
It's not as full as the rest of the company there, but it's maybe like it's like a third of the ration that everyone else got.
Probably a bit less meat, I'm assuming, and I bet mostly vegetables and broth. I'm willing to bet.
Of course.
Okay. I will nod to her as if this is the greatest gift that's ever been given to me. Smile at her and say, "Thank you very much for your kindness." And then proceed to devour it.
The aristocrat comes back with the foreigner, whose name that you now know is Ark.
Ark.
And he comes back with a with a wad of papyri papers, and he says again, Ark is speaking here. Where exactly are you going?
Okay. I'll pull out the paper I have. Well, actually, I probably don't have it on me. Actually, it's probably back to the ship. I will describe it. Tell him it's a place. It's this island with this lotus blooms, and give him the same tale that I was given about where it lies.
Do you happen to remember where the island was near? We said it about an hour ago.
Stodge.
Soltage, yeah.
Yeah,
Soltage, yes.
Soltage, yes. That's what I wrote it down, but I
Yeah.
didn't write down the reference to it.
To
How
which
do you
Ark
actually
will
spell
respond
that
with,
one?
that seems like an island that's near Soltage then.
Yeah.
How do you actually spell that one?
Soltha.
Okay. So TAJ. I had it misspelled as well. Okay. All right. So yeah, that I believe that does sound correct. Yes, near Soltage.
You don't know where you're going?
I don't have a chart specifically telling me exactly where it's at. Just the general area where it is. It's a quest given by a grieving father.
It's actually a grieving uncle, but we'll
Well,
gloss over that.
so okay, a grieving patriarch. So either way, but yeah, you're right. He was an uncle. He was his niece.
Ark turns to the aristocrat and says, "This is doomed from the beginning. I am not doing this." And the aristocrat is like, they are trying to help the spirit of a deceased girl. Ark, have a heart. And he goes, "My heart is ice and darkness."
This poor child, she was slain by raiders.
Then damn her
Truly.
and her karma.
Ben is he just sort of sighs, and he makes a little motion with his hands, almost like a blessing himself type thing at that. And he said, my karma is tied to hers. If she is damned, then so am I. But I understand that you may not wish to partake of this voyage, but would you impart your knowledge to me, at least in some small way, so that I might have an inkling of a chance of doing this? I know the basic operations of a ship. I've seen it done.
You've seen it done, but you've never done it yourself.
That was not my calling upon the ship. The last ship I was on.
What was your calling on your ship?
I tended to the sails, repaired them, made sure that they were properly maintained and rigged. So I was a seamster's mate.
You get the feeling that you this okay. All right, I have to describe Ark a little better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, player knowledge. He's an he's an ebon folk.
Okay.
Player knowledge is they live.
Yeah.
For mortal, they're high mortals. They live a very long time.
Right.
This guy does not look like he's older than 25.
Okay.
But he has the walk of a guy that's probably got a century's worth of experience. And the way he talks, and the way you're describing comparatively the skill, you're describing like your experience.
Yeah.
And he's taking this all in, and he's kind of like, he's trying you can say on his face, he's trying very hard not to roll his eyes.
Yeah, I can tell.
Because he's looking at you the way you'd look at the cabin boy.
Yeah, that's probably
oh my God.
about right.
In comparison to like age, and if there was a chart there, this is where it would bisect on the in the, I suppose, the inter character relationship there. He says, all right, I will do this once. You're going to be very lucky. 3 shares, and I will write you a copy of my rudder that'll get you to Sultaj.
3 shares. Okay. What would that be for understanding how much that would be? So
the aristocrat says Ark's pay is 2 minted gold.
2 minted gold. I'll look at Tarak. What do you think?
I don't know. You think he's worth it?
Without that rudder, we'll never get to where we're going.
Without my rudder, you'll die.
Ben will nod at that.
And I see that you're both already cursed, and I would rather not have that on my jaws.
Taraka got a look like, huh? I haven't done anything wrong.
You've chucked your lot in with this one. He kind of like points with his chin at Ben.
Ben's not going to say anything, but he is going to look with concern when the fella says that he's been cursed. Like, and he'll like do a symbol on his chest as if he tried to ward it off.
The curse bearer.
Yeah, sort of like, maybe like a swish of waves or something like that. I don't know. So
you're right.
Yeah.
Problem is, we still need to find a crew.
We do. But
I don't know. They claim this guy's supposed to be a demon on the deck.
I have heard that. Yes.
And he kind of says that like not quite dripping with sarcasm, but like I don't believe the stories of this guy quite yet, but I have no idea what seafaring is, so I'm just going with it.
The foreigner's eyebrows disappear into his hairline. He says, "They call me a demon."
Oh, they call you worse than that out in the rain. But
oh, do tell.
But then once again, they've not seen your like.
No, my kind doesn't come this far deep out into the sea.
Yeah, and many of them out there are very superstitious. Odd things come out of the desert.
I've seen a few of you, and your kind.
Yes,
but we don't come out this far.
I mean, the way the guards talk, they would rather him be out of town than in it, I would think.
Could I give you 1 gold to see it, and the 2nd gold to give me the copy? Do you get your 2 gold?
I said 3 shares.
2 gold is just his 2 gold is his initial pay. Ben,
Yes,
he wants thrice his pay.
Thrice his pay. So that would be 6 gold for a chart. We need it, but we need a crew as well. I fear we may have to trust the luck of the gods to this, Tarak. For how useful is a chart with a ship with no crew? And I do not wish to go to sea with a crew that is not worthy of the ship we're on, at least. And I'm sure a quartermaster will want at least that as well. I mean, I am not. I'll look at Ark and I'll say I am not in any way doubting your ability as a pilot. You obviously have come from very far away in that, but mayhap we need to go seek a crew first and then come back once we know we can afford your services, because that is, all those services are very, very, very useful. They're also very, very, very expensive. Will you be here for some time?
I will be here. Tell you what, leave me 3 now, get your crew, come back tomorrow.
You think, Chirac?
It's going to take me some time to put your chart together.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
Turok will take 3 gold out of the coin pouch he has.
Okay.
I hope this one doesn't bite us like the last one did.
I hope so.
Do you hand the gold over?
I hand it to Ben. It is Ben's decision what happens after that.
Ben will look at it. He'll look at Ark, and he'll hold it out to him.
All right. The foreigner takes the gold. He bites each of them in turn. He tosses them in his hand, lets them clink. Says, come back tomorrow evening.
Say if they're fake, we gotta go talk to your merchant friend.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. All right.
Mr. Orichalum over there giving out fake coin. I was about to get pissed.
Yeah, lead electric coated with silver. Yeah, all right. Gold plated. So okay, and with that, I will turn to the and I'll look at the fellow with the eye. I'll nod to him and I'll say thank you for your hospitality. And I guess at that point we'll take our leave.
All right.
Time to hit the bars.
All right. With that, which bars do you want to hit?
Well, there's a specific one I don't want to hit. Let's put it that way.
Not the Sea Terror. Okay,
not
cool.
the Sea Terror. Not this time. So
that one's kind of, you guys might have some PTSD in regards to that one. That one's kind of that was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
That one was not nice to you guys.
We'll look at some of the other bars and just I guess what we're gonna basically gonna be doing is bar hopping until we find
in a fun way though. This is for work.
This is for work. We're doing some scouting, listening to basically asking around if there are sailors in need of work and see sort of how many there are, and if any of the bartenders specifically know of a possible person that they could point us to that might make a good bosun or a good quartermaster.
Oh, Turok can be a bosun.
Well, yeah, so Turok can be bosun, or first mate, but bosun. We're looking for a good quartermaster. So,
I'll expedite on quite a bit of that for you. Otherwise, I mean, that could be a session all by itself.
Yeah.
But no,
I can. If you want to, if I can do a society check, if you want to.
I don't think that would actually work here.
Okay.
But
or I will exercise my Corsair's contacts. Do I know of a good bosun in town? Or try a good quartermaster that might be able to hire in town.
Is this your home city?
No.
Then you cannot use contacts.
Okay.
You actually let me see. I could probably just generate you one here for you. Okay. So you bar hop between the storm trying to tear Hanoptra's apartment, their harbor, to pieces. The rain is just slashing down at this place. This probably is like the tail tip round edge of what might be a small hurricane or a
Okay.
really, really big tropical storm.
Yeah.
Can't tell. But it is terrible out there. Some ships are being tossed around like they're beanie babies out there in in the
Yeah.
harbor. It's not a fun thing. And when you leave your the first bar that comes up, that you might have 6 individuals that would be willing to
Okay.
at least move to Soltage and help
Okay.
crew you guys there. No news on a quartermaster though, but
Okay.
these guys would ask for what would be standard initial pay for sailors, be about like three silver each. And they would be willing to work for at most a cycle
Okay.
for you. They really don't, they're not really interested in to do a permanent crew type thing, but
Yeah.
that could possibly be negotiated depending on the venture as well
Yeah.
as what goes on.
Yeah.
These are sailors, they are not fighters.
Understood.
That is made abundantly clear to you. You see, or you think you see, your ship being slapped around like a like the wimpy kid on a middle school playground.
But we can see it.
you-
That's the thing.
Is it
It's still
above
there.
the surface of the water? Yes, but it's not happy.
Yeah.
It's not a happy ship. She's very pretty, but the weather's being very not nice.
Yeah.
She's gonna need help. You go to the second bar. And a quartermaster there, he's a little bit more expensive for a trip.
Yeah.
And he would require an 8-month minimum contract for you for 45 silver.
Wow.
This guy has been on the water for 3 seasons.
Okay.
Maybe that's several cycles long, but that's still, he's old enough to be your grandpa, but
Okay.
he's got like the he's got the old person kind of archaic accuracy to him. And you're
Okay.
maybe the different you guys notice the difference in age and method very, very quickly.
Okay.
He's pretty
I will-
slow, but he's deliberate.
I will actually buy this man a drink, and I will say that I would not insult him by asking him to be our quartermaster, because he obviously is a man of quality, and we are not yet worthy of such. But I do ask him if he has sailed with anyone that he would consider to be honest enough to take on a shorter venture. So basically, I'm asking for his, appealing to his experience.
He does not. No one in this city. He's not even supposed to be here, and he'll go on and tell a story like
listen to
old
his story.
people to do about
And
how
sailors.
yes, and how he's actually supposed
And
to be
old
returning to. It's for fuck's sake, it's like an old person on the phone with telemarketers. He wants to talk, you're trying to get off the
Yeah.
goddamn phone with him. Old
Mhm.
man, just shut up and let me go. But he'll say,
engineers too.
You seem like a pair of good young lads. How about this? 40 silver. And you take me home to Ra when we're all finished.
I looked at Tarak. What do you think?
I think we can do that. Taking the man home.
That's just that would just be the honorable thing to do.
He,
And I tell
he
him-
throws in the sob story, and he really misses his wife, and his loins are burning.
That I can understand. I'll say that. And I'll buy him another round.
All right.
How much are these rounds, by the way, for him? A few
You-
copper.
You're what are you buying him?
A good solid beer. So
A solid beer,
yeah, I would think
a silver.
a silver for a beer.
Yeah,
Okay.
for a beer. Keep that coming.
That's well, I can't keep it coming for very long. I'm not enough money to pay him. Um,
Get him 5 beers. We pay him 40. He's still got 45 in the end. Therefore, he can still be happy.
okay. That I'll tell him to meet us at the dock in the morning after the storm blows through, of course.
We're
And
leaving on the tide. Storm willing.
if I can find a proper crew tonight, yes. If not, the tide after.
Ben, and he's good. Taraka is kind of like a stage whisper almost. We still need a boat to get to the boat.
We do, yes. You don't by chance know someone who's selling a boat to you?
What kind of boat?
Just a launch.
I have a boat.
Oh. Well, would you like to bring it along for good luck?
We'll bring it along.
Okay.
You
Obviously,
buy
you
me
don't- you don't
dinner
wanna-
and I will get you everything that you need. I will make sure everyone goes. Everyone is safe.
Okay. Excellent. Then I believe we have ourselves a deal. I'll buy him dinner. How many silver is that?
A nice dinner, or what are you buying him?
A good solid dinner. Probably better than I had. that
Oh
way.
yeah, no, this guy's old enough to be your grandpa. So
Yeah.
no,
Another-
14
another
silver. How about that?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We need this guy to
Yes.
be the good
Well-
dude on the books, so
And-
we look legit if shit goes sideways.
And I'm thinking to myself, 14 silver isn't bad for a boat. So
So you're
it's-
technically buying the boat with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
true. Yeah. Okay. So all right.
Quartermaster in a boat.
Okay.
And he's charging 30 silver. He said 45. No, he said 35
40.
silver.
35. Yeah. 35 you said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The more beer I give him,
Initi-
the lower that
ini-
number
initi-
goes.
Yeah, initially it was 45. He'll charge you 35. He took
Okay.
10 off for you guys to take him home. All right, perfect.
Okay.
All
right.
And then so yeah, no, this venture is essentially 35 plus 14 just to get everything that he would be willing
Yeah.
to bring. So
Plus
long
the
as
beer
you
or
guys
two.
take him home.
Okay.
Plus the beer or two. So about half a gold.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, because that gives that down to 6. And then we are at what was the number at? I'm calculating it as I go. 48 silver to have right now. Okay. All right. And you said each of the other guys were wanting 2 silver to start, right?
2 silver, yeah. 6
Yeah,
guys.
2 silver to start. Those 6. That's another 12.
So full crew, tentatively full
Mhm.
crew is 9 people right now.
Okay, so we need to have 9 more or 3 more. So we already have 6 plus the quartermaster, and of course the 2 of us, which I'm not counting into that. So-
It would be nice to have at least 12 for
Okay,
your
so-
ship. It would be nice.
Okay,
Minimum would be 10.
I'll tell you what. I will ask first off. What's this fellow's name? So
Manzu, Manzu.
I asked Monzu,
Quartermaster Manzu.
do you by chance know a half dozen men that you might be able to that you yourself would like to have as crew on this? I could pay them the initial 2 silver like the others to come aboard. I have
That was a different bar. He doesn't know these 6 guys.
I mean, I'm asking him if he knows of 6 people that he could bring as well.
Oh, I see.
If he happens to know anybody that
Okay.
Because it'd be good if some of the crew knew him and could vouch for him to the other crew. So,
I think I know 4 people.
okay. Well, we could do it with 10. If I could round up a couple more, it might be better. So, but yeah, if you bring your 4 men to the dock in the morning, with at where your boat is moored, we'll meet you there with the other 6 we have. And if we happen to round up 2 more tonight, more the better. So
We could do that.
okay, and we'll need to. I'll need to speak to my merchant friend about cargo, and speak to my pilot tomorrow evening about charts. So let's say not this morning, but the next. Give you a
The
full day to
morning
get
after
to-
tomorrow.
The morning after tomorrow, yes, that would probably be best.
On the
It's a happy-
tide.
On the tide, yes, obviously.
Storm willing.
Storm willing. And of course, we'll have to look at the ship. Look at the ship because the storm, of course, can do some things and make sure she's still seaworthy. I don't want to take anyone out into the ocean in a ship that won't bring them back. So,
Okay.
for obvious reasons. So, okay.
All right. For the sake, I'm asking as
Mhm.
the narrator to the party. Do you guys want me to write up character sheets for the officers and the entire crew?
Probably just the officers.
Yeah, just the
I
officers.
assume the crew is going to come and go unless you have a special one in mind.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just write up one for Manzu, and
Okay.
I'll have that ready for next session.
That's fine. So,
Okay.
all right. And as we leave there, I'll look at Tarak and I'll say there is actually one other person we might want to have to find, just to be on the safe side. We might want to see if we can get a carpenter, or at least someone who has experience in carpentry.
I'm pretty sure craftsman's going to be outside of our price range at the moment.
Probably, but
Manzu agrees. He says an option does not have many palms or a thick enough woodland around here for us to have a carpet. You want a craftsman?
yeah, well, we can always dream. So
Craftsmen are expensive,
they are.
lads.
They are.
How about we do this?
Uh-huh.
We get him home, and maybe we can find one in Raw.
That's
Oh,
a good
you can. I
possibility.
know several in Raw. I know them personally.
Then we definitely should wait until Raw and rely on your experience to lead us in that direction.
If this trip it ends up being fun, what makes you think I would leave?
Well, I mean, your wife, for one.
I'd visit my wife a little bit, and she would make herself contented until I come back.
Well, then maybe beyond that, maybe our paths will lead further. So
We'll see.
but we know at least till Ra. Okay. And
Now, I am not a seafaring man. I will be blunt about that. What do we need for provisions? Since we're already dipping into coffers as we go.
Well, Manzu crosses his arms, leans back in his chair. He says, well, we're going to need fruits to keep away the illness. We will need a doctor. We will need a priest to bless the voyage. It is best to travel with a priest to keep the sea gods and the sea spirits appeased, which is even more expenses. Now, we will need a spare sail. We already know that we have a spare mast.
Yep.
We will need rope and spare riggings and such. I will bring a launch. We will stow that on the deck. Do we? It's a cog.
Cog, yes.
We do not have a crane. We're going to have to do that by hand. Well, and from here to Soltage is 9 chains in one direction. We're going to need at least that, plus he's doing all of this in his head, which he's like, oh shit, this guy's actually on the level. Holy shit.
And I'm assuming you or a few of the people you are bringing are fishermen, so we can extend the provisions as we go.
Do you have a trolling net?
We'll have to add that to our list.
That's expensive.
It is. I mean, that is expensive. You are correct.
But would that price outweigh the price of food every time we have to dock is the question.
That is the question.
Good fishing grounds are not normally on trade or sea lanes. They're normally not in the same areas. We would have to go out of our way to find fish, and fishing is always a gamble. It's
True.
almost always cheaper just to resupply in ports.
So maybe wait until raw again for that, Ben.
Yeah, that sounds good to me as well. Yeah, we'll need to get some barrels of pickled fish, some yeah, and we'll probably also want to cook.
I know a cook that'll be one of my 4.
Good. So
Speaking of which, I gotta get more materials for poultices.
Yeah, Chirac here will be is a passable surgeon. He's kept me alive so far.
The morning after tomorrow, I'll bring 5 people, one of which will be a cook.
Okay,
very good.
Are we agreed?
We will have our 6. We are agreed. I'll start to spit on my hand and stop and just reach out and shake his hand. As
You bought him dinner and you're about to spit on his hand.
Well, Well,
he remembered the other captain kind of looked down like, what the hell are you doing?
The merchant.
No,
I remember. Oh yeah, no, you don't do that here. Yeah.
No, I can see the old guy doing it though.
Yeah.
So
might.
Now with that, you guys can leave that tavern. That was actually one of the nicer ones, and amazingly, you got an old guy who I guess knows what he's doing.
Yep, sounds like it.
Always nice.
All right.
So I think now it's provisions and
provisions, a place to sleep, and then tomorrow morning we go speak with our merchant.
Or are we going to chance going across that water in the middle of that storm? I don't want to. I don't know.
I don't think that's a good idea.
It's still terrible out there.
Yeah,
I think we should find lodging.
The rain hurts right now.
Yeah, it's probably coming sideways.
Yeah,
let's stinging rain.
See if we can find a place that's reasonable. It's not going to drain our purses too off much because we're getting low as it is.
Right.
Even if it's a few coppers to bed down next to the hearth in the common room.
You guys can find a dirty 1-room flop house for a copper.
Yeah, that's might as well.
Right.
Yeah. So
is that what you're going to do?
As long as it keeps the rain off of us, I guess we can build a small fire.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are you going to let the quartermaster deal with the provisions? That's kind of his job.
I think so. We'll probably find I guess, yeah.
You guys just bed down for the evening.
Yeah, bed down for the evening now, and we'll meet up with him tomorrow probably and figure out how much money we're going to have for provisions.
Okay.
Okay.
So 1 copper later, we put our characters to bed for that one evening. The hurricane, as it seems like it is in fact a hurricane, is terrible out there.
Yeah.
The roof leaks. It's dripping periodically onto the hearth there, so it's making a periodic sizzle. You don't sleep well that night, if at all. And by next morning, you rouse yourselves. The ship, as the anchor line has snapped and she's been beached.
Oh, great. Don't need the rowboat now. I'll go out and look at her. How bad is it?
She slapped her around. She was nice, okay? And this this weather was not nice to her.
Yeah.
She's a nice girl, but
Go in and see how much water's in her. Up on
not much.
her. Okay.
It could be a hell of a lot worse.
Okay.
The hull is fine.
Mhm.
She's in about 6 or 8 feet of water, but she's not capsized. The hull is sound.
In the exposed areas, how bad are the barnacles?
Yeah, about those. We don't think that they did anything about them.
Oh, great. So the bait basically they're encrusted. It's encrusted. Okay.
This is what we get to spend the day doing, Ben.
Basically, yeah, we're gonna have to clean this hull.
Let's beach this bitch.
Yeah, she's already beached. We're gonna have to.
I loved that scene from Black Sails. Let's beach
Yeah.
this bitch. If we clean the hull, we can get an extra 5 knots. And I'm like,
yeah. More hydrodynamic. Yep.
yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I that is how you eke as much speed out of your ship as you possibly can. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned that into a Ferrari that they were chasing down that ship. But anyway,
So we'll probably spend most of the day doing that.
Okay.
Good news is barnacles are edible.
Yep.
So we'll be collecting them as we're taking them off. Actually, I've got a few copper floating around. Are there any beach urchins that I could possibly pay to help us? Give them a copper each to and a basket full of barnacles.
Sure, there's 3.
Okay. All right. Are they? I'll ask them. Are they orphans?
No, they're
Oh, darn it.
they're
Okay.
they're not. Well, I said they're not kids. They're just
I'm thinking-
homeless beachcomber type people.
I was thinking if they were kids, we definitely need a cabin boy at some point. Not in the bad way, but so just young men learning the.
I almost went dark there for a moment.
Oh, I know,
Yeah, right.
trust me. That's why I said not in the bad way.
Azu, sorry.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give them a copper each and a basket of if they bring me a basket of barnacles, take home to their families or to themselves or whatever. So
we'll go until that evening.
Okay.
You can clean the ship. At least the one side of the ship that's exposed. Yeah. None of you have a crane to flip around the other side.
No.
But with that, we can reconvene at the mercenary lodge.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we are going to at some point take a break and go speak to the merchant. Let him know we have a ship and a crew.
Okay.
And we're going to the region of Saltage.
I actually, to break from that, when Ben goes to do that, Tarak is actually going to stay behind because he's going to brew up some poultices.
Okay.
He needs to do the whole 24-hour thing, and he's sitting here scraping barnacles and has time.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, then I'll go talk to the merchant, let him know that we now have a crew for our ship. We're going to have charts to get us there. We have a good quartermaster, and we're looking for cargo and see if he can direct me in an area where I could get some cargo to pay these men with, basically.
He has a shipment of linens for you that need to be moved to Saltage.
We can do that. So, what is the? I guess we'll negotiate a price for moving them. Then, we're having them moved directly. We're not buying them and then selling them.
No, he is Someone has already bought them from him.
Okay.
You guys are going to be
Delivering them.
yes, delivering them. He is hiring you for 60 silver to move these things.
Okay. So 60 silver. All right.
18 crates of linen.
Okay. So let's see. 60 silver. Let me do the calculation here real quick. So 60 silver.
We've just become merchants.
Yeah. 14. Okay. Actually, what I want to do is this.
Yes,
60
moldy turnips.
60 silver divided by 20 is 3 silver. We can say each of those is a share. What do you say? So each individual, a basic sailor, which will have 10 of those, gets 1 share. So that is, let's see.
That's on you. You got to pay your people.
Yeah. I know. I'm going through my head how I'm going to break it up.
Oh, you're doing
So,
this out. You're thinking
yeah,
out loud.
I'm
Okay.
thinking
All
out
right,
loud.
all right, all
So
right.
basically, so yeah, so that'll be 3 silver each, which will be 1 share each for a basic sailor. The cook gets an additional share, because they're a cook.
Right.
The quartermaster would then get. Let me see here. Quartermaster would get 3 shares,
As they should.
as they should. This is 42. If we then, because the pilot, let me see, they were giving the other 3 gold to the pilot tonight. He's not going with us.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to leave us, for me and Turok, that is going to leave basically 3 shares each for us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there you go. We get the same as the quartermaster.
Which I'm assuming makes sense for
Yeah.
first
It
mate
should
and
be.
captain. Yeah.
The officers should get at least
Yeah.
2 shares.
So 3. So
Minimum.
yeah. So 3 shares for me, you, and the quartermaster. 2 shares for the cook, and 1 share each for the crew. Oh, okay. That works for me.
Is that per monthly, or what are you doing? What are you?
We're
How are
getting-
you
we're
divvying
getting-
that up?
We're literally getting paid 60 silver to deliver that. So that's what we're getting paid.
Right.
So that's the share of, once we get there, you get your silver. If you choose to stay on, we'll hire on another load to go we need to go to, and then they get paid when we get to the other end. And of course, food, obviously all the food and such while we're on this ship, et cetera, et cetera. So
And he said it was 9 chains. That's 2 months in a chain.
Yeah.
Since there's 4 chains in a month.
so 9 chains. So as I said, that's I'm not going to basically pay them 3 times what we make.
Right, exactly.
So,
I want to
yeah.
make sure our mathers perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be
You're getting paid by the job, not by the week.
by the job,
Good.
not by the week.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. We're not that wealthy.
No, not yet. Now, eventually, if we do become some merchant of note, we might be hiring on that way. But yeah, as I said, this is not a thing where they're hired on to stay on for a year or something like that. It's literally, this is the saltage, and once you're there, you make the choice where you want to go. If you want to stay on for the next voyage or not. So
Okay.
uh,
With that, we will have the scene with the pilot. Who is going to that scene?
okay. Well,
Like I said, Turok is probably doing poultices all day because we've established that's supposed to be a 24-hour thing.
Yeah. I'll go back, let Turok know what's going on with that. That we're going to have to find a way to get the ship in the water. We might be able to. Oh, shoot! I might actually go get the merchant to help us with that. When they bring tell them that I'm making arrangements to have the. Okay, just to back up a bit, I am going to make arrangements for the stuff to get there. I will let him know that our ship is currently being looked at to make sure she's not damaged from the storm. My associate Tarak is there. Of course, you know him. If you would like to have those delivered there, it would be a very kindness if you would happen to send an elephant. So,
An elephant.
and I think that should be enough to push the ship back in the water. So we're making her very very hydrodynamic because we're picking all the barnacles off. So she should slide in easily.
Elephants are expensive, my friend.
They are, yes, they are.
And they're not mine.
How expensive are they to hire to do something like that? Or could you recommend a what would you call an elephant handler?
Simply that, an elephant handler. 10 silver, and I will take them I will take it out of its way before I return it.
I will reach into my getting very thin pouch and hand over the 10 silver because we need that. And
You need the ship back in the water, so you need that elephant.
Yeah, and I'll direct him to the location of where it's at.
All right then.
I'm tracking my money. So
I didn't think you guys were going to turn this into an economic adventure, but
you gave me a ship.
Yeah, this.
Out of curiosity,
money. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Out of curiosity, how many ships survived the storm?
A couple of them didn't. A couple of them. It's about 50-50.
Are any of them actually like wrecked upon the shore?
One of which is wrecked.
Did the crew kind of come out and say "fucking" and leave it there, or are they trying to salvage what they can?
They're salvaging as much as they can out of the hulk that they left.
Okay.
That was left.
Might have to tell Ben when he gets back to see if he can arrange for us to take some of the spares.
Mm-hmm. I was about to suggest that actually. About theirs to suggest it, but yeah. So I guess when I go back to let him know that the shipment is coming and that an elephant is coming, I had to hire it to get it in the deal. Noticing that, yeah, let's go ask and see if maybe if they have any spares that since the ship's not going to sail, they might be able to sell to us for a fair price. Spare sails, spare rigging, whatnot.
For a fair price. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, if we help remove it, that's less labor for them.
Right?
So.
Well, they're not selling any of their crap. It turns out. They're being real stingy about it. You guys gonna help? No, we'd like to buy some stuff. Then no. If they're gonna sell anything, it'd be at an exorbitant price.
Okay, that's fine.
This ship has a silk sail. I will say again, a silk sail, and he wants 15 gold for it. It's like, what?
Yeah, well, we had a silk sail.
What
15 gold either.
I was saying even with that really big gash in there. I mean, what? Just walk.
Yeah.
I could repair that for you. I actually know how. But that's okay. So okay.
To the mercenary lodge.
To the mercenary lodge. I'll leave Tarak there to do his thing, and I'll go to the mercenary lodge with my gold. With the gold, our gold, and
the party fund.
Yeah, meet with him. Yeah, meet with him, and
they do not let you in armed again. Of course
not.
Yet everyone else in that room is armed to the teeth.
I will as I approach and knock on the door. I wait till they open it, and before he says anything, I unbuckle the belt and I place it in the place for the weapon, and I step inside and hold my arms out.
They search you yet again. Did you remember your knife this time? Of course you did.
Of course I did. Actually, before as they're about to search me, I will pull it out and place it with my sword outside. Let them know I did remember it.
So you are bid to sit in the same seat that was there the other night. Okay. Excuse me.
Okay.
And again, Ark is summoned, and he has a series of 3 clay tablets for you,
Okay.
and 2 sheets of papyrus.
Okay. I will look at
He
them.
does not hand them over to you until your gold is in his hand.
Okay, I'll reach look for them, and when I get that look, I'll reach into the pouch and pull out the 3 gold, juggle bounce in my hand, and I will hold them out for him.
He will take the gold from you, and then he will hand over the goods.
Okay, I will look at them. Are they in the hieroglyphs?
Of course, they're in the hieroglyphs.
Okay, that's
He
fine.
doesn't. It turns out he doesn't speak Thoranean.
Okay, it's okay. Well, I'll have to use a translate. Well, yeah, I speak Yaith. So yeah, I'll let him. I'll thank him very kindly for the for his work on this. Let him know that I have found a crew and I have found a decent quartermaster, and that I have found a cargo, and oddly enough, an elephant. And
The elephant is not the cargo.
no, the elephant is to help push the ship off the shore. He'll sort of smile. Storms, you know how it goes, but she's still seaworthy, so thank the gods. And I will stand, bow to the fellow, and say thank you very much for your kindness. If our paths cross once again, I hope they cross on sunny days and with fair winds.
He doesn't say anything, but he nods to you.
Okay, and I will take my stuff and take my leave. So go out, put the weapons back on. So, all right, and I will head back out to the where Tarak is with the ship and let him know I have charts. They're in those funny pictures.
All right.
You don't call them funny pictures, do you?
No, I don't call it. I look at them. They're in the picture language. So it's kind of a, yeah. These make no sense to me.
All right. I can translate it out loud, but you have to tell me what the hell it means.
I can possibly, if you tell me what it says, I can make a copy in Thoranean. I do have academics for that. So as long as we have spare parts,
Transcribe via the transcribe. Got it.
basically, yeah. So, or if there's enough, or I can make notes on the actual charts, not the clay ones, but the papyrus ones.
Which of course, as he says that, Tarak's like, crap, the paper's inside.
Well, we'll have to get there. So,
Because now he's worried when it hit the beach that all that crap just go everywhere now.
well, maybe we should climb up in there and check that out. So, is the anchor? I was thinking an anchor.
That's gonna be expensive.
Having a ship is expensive.
Technically,
especially when it keeps falling apart.
Yeah.
Technically, we can get a big rock.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on. You guys are a little bit more executive than that. Oh,
just
we
saying.
Have like, and we got like 4 gold left. I don't think we can pay for an.
We got a little less than 4, actually, my friend. We got about 3.5 left.
See.
So,
but yeah. No. Tarak will go up to get up in there and take a look below decks to see if all the paper and clay tablets went everywhere or not.
Well, the clay tablets are destroyed.
God damn
I
it.
figured.
Some of the papers are wet and soggy, which are probably not good. The ink is gone, and that's been upturned. Actually, to be perfectly honest, the wet paper with the ink in there is probably destroyed now too. So much of the previous voyage and crew and their lives
are now gone too.
Gone.
So
yeah. So whatever records of these people that were
Apparently, the crushing depths and Lekra didn't want them to stick around.
Yep. So there is one last thing we need to deal with before we take said sail tomorrow. We need to find a priest.
Ha!
Go talk to Ishtar.
What kind of priest? I never mind. I'm not there.
I don't know. He just said a priest. I don't know any better. So
Most likely, we'd want to preach the crushing depths.
Would one of the sirens work?
If she would be willing to go, I'm sure she would. Although, depending on the superstitions of these sailors, that may or may not be a good thing.
Why not?
Some sailors have a fear of women on board ship. Not all sailors, but some have a superstition about that. So, but a priest, well, a siren would be better than no priest at all.
All right. That's more money out of our pocket.
Yes, it is.
And priests are expensive.
Yeah.
No, the more and more we go through this, the more and more I just want to stay land bound, Ben. I'm just telling you.
I know, but trust me, once you get out there, it will be like nothing you've ever experienced before. The freedom that you will experience will be beyond your imaginings.
Well, at least it beats getting stand in uncomfortable places.
It does. So.
All right. Go find a priest.
Okay. We'll have to go find us a priest. So
what
Tarak
kind
would-
of priest?
yeah.
Tarak
Actually, I'll tell you what.
Hanatra has many temples.
Yeah. I am, before we go specifically looking for a priest, I'm going to go see if I can look up Manzu real quick. See if he's in one of the bars getting himself ready or.
Yep. He is still at the tavern that you met
Okay.
him last night.
Okay. I will go in and ask him.
He has 5 people with him as opposed to 4.
Okay. Excellent. I'll introduce myself and meet them. And I'll say, being of a man of proper sensibilities, Manzu, what if you wish to have a priest, and I know you are a man, I'm sure of faith, at least of some type. What priest would you feel most comfortable with?
It's your ship.
It is, but a captain who does not consider his crew, well, sometimes they fall overboard in a storm, if you know what I mean.
Well, many of us here are devotees of Ishtar.
Okay.
The cook, however, is a worshiper of Set.
Okay.
But as you know, Hanoptra has a temple of devoted to Set, devoted to Ishtar and Ibis. But there are some who worship the crushing depths proper here.
Okay.
But there's no temples. There's
Okay.
many a sea cave that you could visit, but I don't know if you wish to go visit those.
No, I'd rather not. It sounds as if I'll be visiting the Temple of Ishtar and see if there is a priest willing to accompany us on this voyage. So, at least for such a holy quest as ours, maybe they will.
Now, have you told the crew the quest?
Not yet. The
Oh,
quest, not yet. That'll be once we
you
get.
probably
but
would not mention your reasoning for all
maybe
this.
after
You're
we
just
get
a
to
young
sea,
captain.
we'll see.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah.
And
so yeah,
hopefully they don't toss you overboard then.
Yes, exactly. Thus, I need to go make sure my priest is at least decently paid. Um, so yeah, I guess Trot. Guess we'll head up there. Probably stop and get ourselves a little bite to eat. Not a 14 silver bite to eat because
That you've got him
Yeah.
like a 3-course meal. Come on now.
Oh, I
Tarak's
know.
not there. You're on your own with all
That's
this,
right.
man.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get a cheap meal.
4 gold. 4 copper. God damn it.
Okay, that's fine. I bet so that's not a cheap
I-
meal.
Fucking
better
inflation and
have gotten
Hydoptera there all of a
job
sudden.
and something else for 4 gold. God
But say, and
damn.
there better be a
Goddamn.
priest involved with that too.
Goddamn inflation overnight. Fucking Hydoptera over here.
No,
Did the
4
Pharaoh have a
copper,
bad
geez.
day and sign executive orders or some shit?
No, so
Yeah, right?
I am going to the equivalent of Taco Bell, not some like high and mighty Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Oh. That's all right then.
So yeah, then I'll take myself up to the Temple of Ishtar and petition at the gates, I suppose.
The previous characters will remember this. There's a star nomad in his 50s who is menacing and has huge hands and he's very tall, armed with a copper halberd or polearm of some kind, who meets you at the gate and introduces himself as Ingwe. He is a holy warrior of Ishtar.
I will greet Ingwe and give my name is Binyathod, captain of the ship She Who Runs Before the Wind, and that I am petitioning at the gates of the Temple of Ishtar to be admitted to speak with a priest who may be interested in joining my voyage to the area around Stoltage.
I do not know of any priests that wish to voyage far, but let us see who has traveling. I am not an expert in the ways of the priestesses.
I, of course, would be willing to give passage to a priest or priestess who happens to wish to go to Soltage to have her holy blessings upon my ship and my crew along the way.
She brings you inside. Okay. You guys go to one of the more ranking officials of the temple. She is a priestess. She's probably not a high priestess, but she's one of the more ranking ladies there. She explains to you that there is a small temple to Ishtar on Soltage that may need more priests there, and possibly one could be to be brought, but I don't. She said, "Why would you seek out Ishtar for a voyage? Is this
most of my crew are devotees of Ishtar, and I wish to have someone to minister to their souls along the voyage."
Oh, I see.
It makes them feel more comfortable when a priest or priestess is nearby.
I'm sure priestesses can make people more comfortable than just priests.
They can, but as far as I know, none of the men have that certain fear of women. But so I would not be adverse to a priestess. I would, of course, as the captain, make sure she was properly quartered and comfortable and not accosted by the men unreasonably.
She would need her own cabin.
My ship doesn't have any cabins.
You're right. It's kind of just one long hallway.
My ship unfortunately is too small for a proper cabin, but I can make accommodations so that she can have privacy in her own area
of some kind, right?
Yes.
will you be requiring the services of a priest on the ship permanently, or just for this voyage?
At this point, just for this voyage.
Hmm.
Eventually, I may come to you and speak of such a thing, but at this point,
She bids you to follow her. She's gonna take you into the back gardens where, and she's not wearing much. She's a priestess of Ishtar. They don't wear
that's
much.
fine.
She has a breathtaking hindquarters. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
And she
I roll
says,
awareness.
"Yeah, Roman,
Oh, yeah.
my eyes are glued to
Yeah.
that woman." And you kind of walk through where like that they're hanging garden atrium back there, and it's got some fountains back there. Some of the girls are singing their sutras. A couple of the scribes are taking down philosophical notes on a lecture on astrology. Planar astrology, some magician nonsense by some wizard sorcery, some horrid nightmarish thing.
Something beyond my ken.
Exactly. All of the scribes are bald except for a dark scalp lock that falls back. Most of the women, again, they're not wearing much, and it's more or less to be like the like sacred prostitute kind of uniform kind of thing. But she says, well, there is one young priestess that wishes to move herself. She has just been initiated into the mystery cult of Ishtar, and been given the knowledge of the fourth circle. She's a bunch of this shit you don't understand.
I'll nod
sure,
as if it
yes.
makes perfect
She's
sense.
she's very skilled. What the fuck does that mean? But and this priestess is very much talking this young lady up.
That's
and
fine.
you walk around this corner, and she is playing a lap harp, and this woman is breathtaking. Her name, I gotta find her a name for you. I had one written down. It was fantastic, but I lost it. It was a rather pretty Sumerian name. But she, again, like I said, she was initiated into the fourth circle of Ishtar, and she has friends and family that live on Soltage. So it's kind of it's this trip would serve dual purpose for her.
Okay.
She is about 25 cycles old. Okay. It's a little bit older than Ben, but is explained to her that that you're planning to voyage in that direction. And where are Ben's eyes?
Out of his head, hanging on his cheeks, around basically just above his tongue, which is probably dragging the ground.
Don't ask him the color of anything.
Right. I meant on her. Where is his eyes on her?
He probably would have initially as he came in and she was playing the lap harp. He would have looked
eye
there
contact.
And then
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he's thunderstruck.
Okay. Excellent. She has an allure of 6. Actually.
Oh yeah, he's thunderstruck. He's dumber thunderstruck.
Oh, very much so. But the thing is, for her services to bless the ship and to take care of everyone's spiritual needs, they actually use those words. She would require 2 gold for this adventure.
2 gold for this adventure. So he
Gold with a
doesn't
G.
he doesn't even think about it. He just pulls up 2 gold and holds it out to the priestess.
I'm glad you guys got the chart before you came here. Whatever this woman asks for her payment, give it to her.
Yeah.
Your soul, your tongue, your eyes, whatever you want, sweetie.
Other body parts I can think of.
Just to aside for a moment, I'm thinking of that
Yeah.
one story between the man and the fae.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Which
mother would be
one?
in perfect health. All right, so when do we start? What do you mean? Well, you said I need to give you my firstborn.
Yes.
When do we
Oh.
start?
Oh.
Oh. Yes.
Right now. But no, she as soon as you pay her high priestess
Mhm.
and or the
Yeah.
one of the high priestess hands her the gold coin, she's like, all right. When are we leaving?
We're leaving on the tide in the morn.
Okay.
I will tell her where to find us.
She will
And-
then disappear and take that cute butt with her
Aw.
while she's at it. I know. And she makes herself ready. She
Okay.
she goes off and she's I
Okay.
guess she's gonna go get her stuff. You
Mhm.
kind of get the feeling that you bought her from the temple and she's paying you for the trip.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like
So-
2 gold here. Because she was given one and the high priest took the other one.
I figured. Yeah, I figured the temple got theirs and she got hers. All right, so I will tell them, let them know that tell her to meet us in the morning, and I'll head back down to the ship, skipping the entire way,
Right.
knowing that if a thief tried to rob me now, they would be a very poor thief.
Because I ain't got much left.
Yeah. So, and yeah, get down to Rock, let him know I have secured us a priestess for the voyage. We need
Before
to
you get down to the dock, we're gonna have a brief
Okay.
scene here.
okay, brief scene.
You are going through the marketplace,
Uh-huh.
and sometime that mid-afternoon, as it's getting
Yeah.
starting to get on towards the evening,
Mhm.
you pass by a troop of sirens
Okay.
walking through the streets, and then the people give these aquatic ladies a very wide berth.
Okay.
But you walk by them,
Mhm.
and one of them sniffs like,
Mhm. I'll stop and stop. I'll sort of look in that direction. What?
like the 6 of them turn, and one of them says, I smell a mermaid on you.
He'll look at them. He'll say, I don't have a mermaid on me that I know of. I have been in the sea recently.
One of them walks up to you, and she kind of what she's about to do is very rude. She
Okay.
comes up and she smells you. She like puts her nose like where your sternum is,
Mhm.
and she smells you, and she goes, no, you've had your hands on a mermaid recently.
Ben sort of takes a bit of he doesn't like step back, but he sort of sidles back a little bit, looks up and down, and he takes a deep breath, and he says, I did not mean to,
Oh God.
and I wished her well.
The rest
swear to
of
God,
these
if we TPK right now, I swear to God,
Well, we won't. You'll be alive, so
they will hunt my ass down. What are you talking about?
they wouldn't
I
do
am
that.
affiliated and associated with you.
They wouldn't do that, Captain Turok. I can play the cook.
the siren standing in front of you, she scowls at you, and the rest of them just like glare like daggers at you.
So they may or may not notice this. Ben almost absentmindedly grinds his hand into his hip as if his hand itches.
Oh, what do they do? It's like you're kind of like trying to wipe off whatever's on there.
Yeah, almost absentmindedly.
Oh, she looks down at your hand. She goes, "What's that?"
That
she's got a mouth full of shark teeth.
My hand, lady. I have, and he wipes it on his trousers, but I think I may have gotten something on it. It was not my intention, though.
Let me see what's on your hand.
He looks about. Is everybody else staring at them right now?
Yeah, there's a fucking crowd, dude. People stay fucking clear of sirens in the street, but they're allowed to walk in the street.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if it's like a situation where everyone's just like staying there staring, or if it's like we're trying to ignore what's happening over here.
No, you have the sirens on you. You are now the pinnacle of the spotlight.
Yeah, there is that. There's people trying to get out. Like there's people trying to leave the scene, like extras trying to leave the scene.
That's fine. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck, they're about to fucking eat him. Run.
Okay,
but
Ben will look at his hand, look at her with the puppy dog eyes.
Let me see it.
And he will
through her clenched shark teeth.
He will hold his hand out to her, and he's almost at this point crying. And he said, "It was never my intention to do any harm."
Is your hand covered, or is your spot covered?
Yeah, I've got the glove that he habitually wears that has like the fingers cut out of it. He just covers the palm and the back of the hand. So
she like with her claw fucking pulls at it. Or the glove comes part way off. Yeah. And when she sees the black spot, of course she hisses at you.
Okay. Yeah. He'll literally, as she hisses, he'll sort of jump back. I don't know if her hand comes loose from his hand or not, but
you'll jerk back, and her claw will like yank the glove completely off your hand at that one.
Okay.
Like,
at that point, he will instinctively clench his hand tight.
And not to be terribly corny about it, but she snarls at you, which kind of sounds like an angry boil snarl, harsh whisper kind of thing. She says, "You're already dead. There's nothing that we can do to you that you have not already done to yourself."
Yeah, he literally his eyes. He's pale. For a person with his skin tone, he is pale. So
he looks like Ark.
Not quite like Ark. Ark is still
Ark is fish belly white, Snow White.
Yeah, not quite there. No, but he looks like a man who has not been out in the sun for a couple of days, possibly. But yeah, he clutches his hands to his. Actually, takes his hand and clutches it to his chest, and he sort of bows to them, and he says, "I beg your forgiveness, though I know it will never come. I wished her no harm."
They just leave you at that point. They don't have any more business with you, and they already know now. Now all the sirens of Hanoptera know that there's somebody with the black spot in the city.
He'll look around, and as they leave, reach down, grab the glove, hastily tug it back on, and he'll, with his head down, probably throw his hood up, and he'll just sort of make his way as fast as possible down to the shore.
And with that, we will call for closing soliloquies on session 3 of a Sha'ir's poem. Tarak, back at the ship. Things are starting to get rather exciting and getting ready to go. That evening, the elephant arrives much earlier than usual. You hear the trumpeting as well as the moving and the groaning of such an elephant. It's a nice, healthy female elephant with her trunks healthy and white. You guys get her hitched up to this ship, and she tows a good portion of it back out. She can't go any deeper into the surf, otherwise she'll be swimming and lose all of her traction on the seafloor. Some of your crew with Manzu show up, and you guys kind of do this meet and greet before Ben shows up. You're introduced to Manzu. Manzu introduces you to his eldest son, who is the cook, and his other 4 associates who were on 2 previous voyages with him. Who are also like kids to him. He's got this like Egyptian Santa Claus kind of air about him. He's jolly, but like this is business, this is work. He's got
Krampus real quick.
Yeah, he can turn into Krampus real damn quick. Old school disciplinarian. His son doesn't pay attention to something quick like, and he gives him a smacking. You guys push the ship back out into the sea, and the elephant is sent, and its handler is sent on their way. Now, as you guys are getting your ship ready, Manzu got a word that the ship was beached, and he brought a bronze anchor for you. Something in good faith out of his pocket, just in case he decides that he wants to stay with the ship. Closing soliloquy, go.
All right. So before everyone showed up, just to give a little bit of retracing on Tarak when Ben left again, seeing below deck.
Damn it, I think you froze, Mike. Are you still here, Keith?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Right.
Never
Did
mind.
you get any of that?
No, you
Okay.
froze.
God damn it. It's
Okay.
been doing fine all day. All night I've been doing fine. To
What
this
are
very
you making medicine in? Do you have any basins that you're like boiling water in?
Well, I did also mention to Ben that we needed to get me more materials, so
We'll say off camera you did that yourself with whatever remaining
Okay.
credits you have.
um
We'll say you have a copper pot that you have
Yeah.
enough water to boil in. They have a brazier on the ship. Okay.
yeah, that works.
Soliloquy, go.
Okay.
Take 2.
Yeah. So hopefully it doesn't freeze up this time. So when he went below deck and found out it was all fucked up down there, he would have tried to save as much of the papyrus that he could, just to use for later on. You said all the ink was pretty much gone. The clay towers were pretty much destroyed. So that's fine. He'll kind of mourn the fact of that history being lost. He already felt bad that they had, destroyed this lineage as it was. But now it being completely gone to the aether has, it makes him sad a little bit, because, he would like to at least keep that man's memory in the word if he could have. But when he gets done with that, he will go back up, tend to his poultices some more. Being that this is his first voyage ever, like I don't even think he ever took like a day trip on a ship before. He is filled with a lot of foreboding and not a small amount of I don't really want to call it anxiety, but like that kind of high strung energy. Because he's never been away from the sands this long. He's never been out of visual of the sands this long. Um, he's never had to deal with being stuck. He's always been landlocked. Like if he didn't like somewhere, he could move. Being stuck on a ship, he can't just say, "Oh, I'm bored of being on a ship," and just freaking jump off. He's gonna die. So it's kind of got him. It's just kind of got him on edge of what's going to happen. But at the same time, he trusts Ben in everything with the sea and with the water, and he knows they have a job to do. And he likes the quartermaster that they got, and he has trust in him. It's an old guy. He's got to know something if he lived to be this long. He'll be honest with himself. He didn't really care for Ark, and he doesn't really know if the chart they're going to give him is going to be worth a damn. I mean, he heard stories and he heard hearsay from the guards. It doesn't really mean a whole lot to him. He also really he has some idea of what they got done with the merchant, which he is proud to at least have a job, because that means they're getting some form of money. But really, in the end of all of it, he's going to be kind of on edge. He probably won't sleep very well tonight. He will make sure when he gets the new poultices to rebandage up Ben if he needs to, as well as probably taking care of him when he sleeps that night to give him that extra benefit, so that when they hit the open sea, he's as fresh as he can be. But yeah, that's kind of where Turok is. It's kind of like that day before you make a long drive or go on a plane trip. Like he's like ready to go, but like really anticipating what's going to go on.
That is a pretty accurate view of an ancient seafarer there who's never been on the sea. Now, with Manzu and the rest of his retinue there, they are settling themselves into the ship, and they've hung hammocks. They've brought quite a bit of their own things with them.
Yeah.
Now the ship is starting to feel like a ship and a home. There's more people here. It's not a barren wreck of a previous life. And again, building off of Turok's melancholy with the previous captain and all of his generations now been quite cleanly wiped from the face of Arklanar, with their records being all but mostly destroyed. Of the records, you've got like 2 pages, and they're not even sequential. One was from the island that they initially picked up, whatever illness this was, and the other one was the crew has left. Those who have left, who are alive, have left. It's just me, the first mate, and my remaining son. And we go to Ben Yathud.
So Ben, as he works his way down through the crowds, back down to the beach, he's almost walking with almost disregard. He is avoiding people and such, but he's not really looking around like he was before. He'll keep taking in the sights and such. And his hand, the one with the spot, is clutched to his chest, almost as if he's holding an old injury. And he just, that memory of that siren with her shark-like teeth looking down and hooking her finger and revealing that spot just keeps flashing through his head, and her face reminding him of the face of the mermaid, almost as if they're interposed in his mind. And the horror he felt when he pulled her aboard, And the worst horror he felt when the bosun dispatched her. It was the first time he'd seen a thinking being dispatched in such a way. It wasn't the kind of clean death you would see in a fight. He saw that with the when he was cutting down the bandits who were attacking the tribe that they helped earlier. That felt clean. Yes, it was dirty work, and yes, there was blood, but it just felt clean somehow, as if it was the right thing to do. But what he saw the bosun do that day, doesn't feel clean in his mind at all. As he does, he almost feels a burning sensation on his palm, and he rubs it against his chest a bit. Then he stops and shakes his head a bit, and he says, "I've got a crew to take care of now, though." And he looks at his hand and thinking to himself that he hopes this doesn't bring harm to them. But maybe someday he will earn the right to have that removed, or he'll be taken, one of the two. He remembers at the last moment to stop at a wine vendor, and he'll buy the best wine he can at about 5 or 6 silver. So that wine is there to bless the ship with the next day before they sail. He remembers that much from his first voyage, how the captain and the priest performed their little ritual, and they blessed the ship and hope for good voyages. He just hopes that he does a better job than his old captain did. For that last voyage was a curse. He finally makes it down to the shore, sees the crew starting to gather a bit, bring their things aboard. The ship itself floating once again, and lets out a deep breath. He has a lot of trepidation in his heart because this is the first time he's going to be in charge. And the last time he was aboard his ship, he was a tailor's mate. The responsibility begins to seek in. The fact that he is going to be responsible for over a dozen souls on this boat that he has yet to test. But he has hope that his cause will bring him through, that he will bring this flower back to these nomads, and that they may be able to lay that poor child's soul to rest. And with that, he heads toward the shore.
There is an 18-year-old, cycle-old Thoranean who is now a leader of men, who has had souls thrust upon him, walking down to the next chapter of his life. We don't know where this chapter will take us, but we do know that there are shadowy flowers, horrid jungles, cannibals, curses, evil sorceries, and high adventure on Arklanar's tropic seas. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Stay cool, everybody. Good night, all.